It's homecoming on the hilltop, and excitement is high as Georgetown looks for their first 3-0 start in over 15 years as they battle Columbia with the Lou Little Trophy on the line, a fitting tribute to a great coach at both institutions. Well, hello football fans. You see the Lou Little Trophy there. Columbia and Georgetown getting ready to battle it out. Jeremy Huber joined by Emory Hunt and Michael Niebrick today. And guys, again, it is a homecoming day. Emory, always excited when you get to play one of those.
Always exciting because it's homecoming. You have the tailgating going on. A lot of alumni come back. It means something. This is why college football is so great.
Yeah, definitely one of the things that differentiates the college game from the others. Of course, we mentioned it, the Lou Little Trophy on the line. We'll get into that more as we go through the broadcast. But, Mike, you were a guy at Fordham. You got to play against Columbia in a trophy game. What does those type of games mean to you playing for that piece of hardware?
Well, it adds a lot more meaning to the football game itself. A lot of games, you just come in, it's just another week. When you have games like this, especially rivalry games where a trophy's involved, it brings out a little bit more pride in each and every guy on the field, makes this game a little bit more important, and now you add homecoming on top of it. This should be a very exciting football game. Big
time stuff today. Let's go ahead. We'll stay with Mike as we go ahead and take a look at our quarterbacks in this contest today. We start on the other side of things with Columbia and Skylar Morningweg.
Yeah, we're going to start here with Skylar Morningweg, the transfer from University of Florida. Now, he got 3 starts as a Gator in 2013, playing against South Carolina, Georgia State, and Florida State, the eventual national champion that year. So he has a lot of experience under his belt, and that goes to my next point here. He needs to use that experience to lead. Not only does he have big game experience at the University of Florida, he also was the starter last year, so I want to see him use that experience to lead a little bit.
And, of course, on the other side of things, the senior, Tim Barnes.
Yeah, Tim Barnes, I want to see him continue to protect the football. He only has 2 interceptions so far this year. Continue to protect that football. I want to see him increase his efficiency just a little bit. He's at 61% completion percentage right now. I'd like to see him get that up to about 65%, which will keep that offense efficient. And then I want him to continue to find his playmakers. He's got a lot of guys out there that have kind of blossomed throughout this offense. So I want to see him find those guys and continue to be successful on offense.
Let's go ahead and take a look at our keys to the game and the contest. We'll start off with Columbia, Emory.
Well, you have to use misdirection to calm the pressure. They're going to see a lot of pressure up front from this Georgetown defense. If they can use misdirection, your counters, your sprint draws, play action boots and waggles, they can have some success. Also, they have to match that physicality up front. Again, Georgetown's defensive front 7, when you look at Javion Butler, these guys play physical. They can get after the quarterback. They have to match that physicality up front, and they can't allow mental mistakes to become physical mistakes. We see this a lot around college football. Be sure you're in tune to what's going on the field so that way you can play your best game throughout.
Let's go to our players to watch in this one. We'll start with the DB, Jared Katz.
Katz is the best defensive back they have on the roster. He's an NFL-type prospect, a guy that can play safety as well as corner. He's a big guy, 6'2", 200 pounds, and he's going to be matched up against other bigger wide receivers here for Georgetown.
Interesting to see how those matchups go. Our second player to watch on the offensive line, and Tyler Schoenwolf.
And Schoenwolf has to be the guy that wins up front because, again, when you look at Georgetown's defensive front, they're active, they're strong at the point. If he can win, then this offense can definitely go.
Schoenwolf, the only guy in that offensive line who, coming into the season, hadn't started a game yet for this Columbia Lions team. Our third player to watch in this one, an interesting one, we go to the kicking game and Cameron Nizelak.
And Nizelak has to win on both ends because he's also the punter. He's down 8 punts inside the 20 field position game. Field goals, 8 out of 14, which is still good for college. So he's a weapon on both ends, offense and defense.
Over to Georgetown now, and Michael, their keys to the game.
Yeah, we're going to start here. No explosive plays. This Columbia offense is not an offense that has a lot of explosive players, a lot of explosive talent. So this Georgetown defense needs to limit the number of explosive plays and make them manufacture long drives down the field. Also, they need to get off to a fast start. I think this is something that we're going to talk about for every Georgetown game. It's something that Coach Scarlatta really stresses. Get off to a fast start, get the lead early, and get a momentum going early on. Also, they need to win the special teams battle. I think this comes in 2 phases today. First, in the punting game, I think, as I mentioned, they need to create long drives for this Columbia offense. They're going to be using 2 punters today, depending on what the field position looks like. So they need to force long drives there. And then they also need to make sure that they cash in on field goal points when they're available. Darmstadter right now is 3 for 5, so he needs to make sure that when he's going out there, he's cashing in on the points and getting those points for this Georgetown offense.
Now over to our players of the game for the Hoyas. We'll start off with one of the wide receivers, Justin Harrell.
Justin Harrell is off to a great start. He missed the entire last season with an injury, and I think Coach Garlotta and Timmy Barnes are extremely happy to have him back. He leads the team right now in receiving. Had a big game last week against Marist with 8 catches, 84 yards, and a touchdown. He's become a very valuable weapon for this Georgetown offense.
Now our second player to watch coming off a very big game as well, that would be the defensive end, Hunter Kislick.
Hunter Kislick, again, coming off a huge week last week. Blocked 2 kicks to help preserve that victory against Marist. He's become an extremely difficult guy to stop on that defensive line, a real force to be reckoned with on that defensive line, and this defense has become extremely solid all around, and he's one of those guys that has led that front.
Real smart player, too. That film study coming in handy on that other play. Our other player to watch in this one, Blaze Brown.
Blaze Brown, just a sophomore. He's tied for 4th on the team in tackles with 9 tackles so far this year. And now he isn't a starter for this defense, but he makes a big impact every single time he's out on the field. And he's also a special teams ace for Coach Garlotta. And it's guys like these unselfish guys that are extremely important to successful football teams, guys that can go out there, be told what to do, and go out there and make big plays.
Yeah, Blaze Brown doing it all over on special teams, getting some time as well on the defense. Well, of course, you see the big homecoming crowd here at Georgetown. They're filing in, a lot of folks with happy faces ready for what we hope is a very good football game today. Let's join our 4th member of our crew. That would be our sideline reporter, Anna Tarullo, standing by with the head coach of the Columbia Lions, Al Bagnoli.
Coach, first road test of the season. What do you expect to see out of your guys today?
Well, I mean, hopefully we get off to a good start. You know, we have so many young kids here. We're actually traveling with probably 15 or 16 freshmen out of our travel team. So, you know, I want them to get settled in. I want them to take a deep breath. I want them to have some success early and kind of exhale. So that would be the ideal scenario.
Definitely. And turnovers, they played a huge part in your loss at St. Francis last week. How did you work on diagnosing those in practice?
Yeah, I mean, you know, some of them are preventable. Some of them, you know, the other team has to get credit for. That was one of those plays where the other team punched the ball out. You know, they've done a good job of coaching the strip, but, you know, that's really the key to a game. It's whoever can win the turnover battle, shorten the field position, you know, usually wins the game. So we were -2, and we lost by less than a touchdown. So it's obviously a key component.
All right, you're playing for the Lou Little Trophy today. What does that tradition mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that's pretty neat. I mean, you know, Lou was a legendary figure at Columbia, coached there forever, and, you know, also has roots here, which is kind of a nice sidebar. So this is the start of a 10-year contract. This is year 2 of it, which I think is a great match for both schools. They get to come to New York. We get to go to D.C., and I think it has a lot of symbolism on top of it. So our kids are excited for it.
All right, great. Thank you, Coach. Good luck today.
Coach Bagnoli there with Anna. Anna also having a chance to catch up earlier today with the head coach of the Georgetown Hoyas, Rob Scarlatta.
All right, Coach, when we talked earlier in the week, you stressed how important it was for your guys to get out to a fast start. And so far this season, your opponents have outscored you 10-3 in the first quarter. Coming off a bye week, how do you work on getting that rhythm going offensively in the beginning?
It's a great question. You know, we had a really intense week of practice. We usually practice on Sunday, give the kids off Monday, but we let them go home over the weekend. Some of our guys have been here since the summertime. So, you know, I think having the extra day Monday and flowing into the game will help us. And, you know, we've talked about it a lot. Hopefully we can bring it out on the field.
Mm-hmm. Another key is whittling down your focus in this game to these one-on-one matchups. What's going to be the most critical matchup today?
Columbia does a great job on defense. You know, their corners are really talented, and they make no mistake about it. They're going to come up and pressure you and get in your face and make it hard for you to throw the ball on the outside. So I think you're going to see a bunch of 50-50 balls, you know, thrown up, and we're going to see how Timmy Barnes can throw the deep ball against them and hopefully wind up on top.
And not only is it homecoming on the hilltop, but you're also playing for the Lou Little Trophy, and you went to Georgetown yourself. How important is that tradition, and how did that factor into your focus at practice this week?
It's huge. You know, we go up during our pregame up on the main campus of the field we used to play on. You know, Georgetown's history with football goes back to 1883, so a lot of our kids here are only thinking 2016, but we have a ton of alums in. We have 5 in particular that helped us establish the Lou Little Trophy. So we talked to the kids all week just about the tradition and the amount of people that care about this program, and there's a lot of them here in the stands today.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you, Coach, and thank you, Anna. The Hoyas getting ready for this matchup where they'll look for a 3-0 start, their first since 1999. The Hoyas getting back into it. You see that defensive line ready to go ahead and get rolling. Of course, last time out 2 weeks ago against a Marist squad that the Hoyas end up getting a win, Emory.
Well, it's important to go on the road, get a victory, and a big one because Marist provided an interesting matchup up front. So I was excited to see how they responded. They did a great job in doing so.
And, of course, ended up going ahead and finding a way to win the game. Tim Barnes with a late touchdown drive for the Hoyas.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Scarlotta earlier, and it took a little bit to find a rhythm on offense, and it took them really till that second half to find a rhythm, and that's why you saw the game very close up front. Their defense really kept them in that game early, and ultimately the reason why they won that game. So look for them to have a little bit better overall performance here today.
Yeah, again, the Hoyas with a fantastic performance in that game to move to 2-0. They will look to move to 3-0 as we go ahead and take a quick pause for our national anthem.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
A wonderful rendition of our national anthem by Georgetown Choir. You also saw some of the Georgetown players exercising their rights during the national anthem. We go ahead taking a knee, some players with fists up in the air again. Georgetown going through, and obviously that one, they're right to go ahead and get that done. So we will, we'll move on to a little bit of football now in our matchup today. And, of course, we see some of the stats in this one. Really right now you're talking about scoring. Only one game, Mike, for Columbia, but the point's obviously in Georgetown's favor.
Yeah, it's tough to really judge the Columbia team right now. They've only had one game. Georgetown has played two. Columbia looked a little bit sluggish in that first game. You could tell that it was their first game. So look for them to come out with a little bit better effort today, and hopefully, if you're Columbia, get that points per game up a little bit.
For those of you watching us on the Georgetown Facebook page, we now direct you over. If you would like to continue keep watching the game broadcast, go over to Campus Insiders to catch the complete game of this matchup between Georgetown and Columbia. Well, of course, we see a few of the players on the sidelines. Hoyas dealing with some injuries and some players not playing. You see Justin Hill right there, Carl Thomas, also Hugh Masterson not in the lineup today. So, Emory, again, you talk about some of these guys out, some key players. Obviously, the rest of the Hoyas maybe have to pick your game up a little bit.
And that's what you want if you're a reserve guy, second, third team guy. You want your opportunity. Now you have your opportunity. You got to go out there and produce. So these injuries, while they may be, affecting the team now, for the long run, is going to build depth, and these guys will definitely get their opportunity to play.
Coin toss there. Skylar Mornaway, the speaking captain for Columbia. He defers after Columbia wins the toss, so Georgetown will go ahead and keep the ball. You see the captains there for the Hoyas. Interesting thing this year where they have their two main captains during the year, and David Akiri and Tim Barnes. Then they rotate three through Michael. And again, I would think that that's maybe a little motivational play for Coach Scarlotta to keep guys practicing their best.
It is. It's something we actually did at Fordham, and it's something that a lot of coaches around the country do, and it helps your guys throughout the week. That's where you earn that captainship is your preparation, your effort, and your leadership throughout the week. When Coach Scarlotta sees that, those are the guys that he names as captains. So it's definitely a little bit of an extra motivating factor for these guys throughout the course of the week.
You saw Hunter Kiselick there, one of the guys who've played so well, again, a captain today. Weather today, it's 75 degrees. It's cloudy. You'll see it. The lights are on here on the hilltop. A little bit overcast, but it's really good football weather, and we expect a pretty good one today as Columbia looks for their first win of the year. Two pretty evenly matched teams in this contest, and Emory, I'm expecting a really good football game.
Good defensive ball game. Which offense can get going early will be the biggest thing. I have to give a shout out to both teams. uniforms because I think aesthetically we look like a clean game today for both squads.
Fresh and clean, if you will. Yeah, the Hoyas in all navy today, while Columbia in all white. And of course, what Mike and Emory really were jazzed about, the matte helmets that the Hoyas are going with. Mike, you're really taking a shine to those.
Yeah, I love matte helmets, to be honest. I think whoever started it in college football should get a huge pat on the back. I think that more teams need to start doing it. I mean, it's just a very clean look, and I'm a huge fan of trying something new and really just it helps your players out a little bit too. You bring in these new helmets. It's a special edition helmet, so it kind of gets them up for the game a little bit as well.
Cameron Nislek, the kicker for Columbia, does it all in special teams. He will get us underway here. Homecoming on the hilltop. We're ready to go. And Blaze Brown, back deep. It'll be Isaac Ellsworth, returning this one. Got a little bit of space to the outside. He'll be dragged out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So Ellsworth, nice kickoff return to start things off for the Hoyas.
That's a good spot right there on the field where you want to be to start your offense. It looks like the 30-yard line. So nice opening kickoff right there for Georgetown.
Starting lineups for the Hoyas. And Mike, of course, a lot of good guys on this crew. We talked about Tim Barnes, Alex Vallis. Got to give them something in the backfield.
Alex Vallis is the workhorse for this offense. He's the guy that's leading the way in the backfield, right behind Timmy Barnes running the football. So I'm excited to see what he can bring for this offense today.
Averaging over 90 yards per game. Barnes wearing number 35. The Akabachi winner will miss outside, going to Matt Buckman. Looking for his tight end, can't complete it.
I like that play though. It's a big game, good atmosphere, homecoming for Georgetown here. Just a nice simple throw to get him into rhythm. Wasn't complete, but it's the throws like that get young quarterbacks or guys that don't have the most experience into a good rhythm.
And you saw that going to Cameron Rowan's side because again, you don't want to go to Cat's side, so it'll be interesting to see how much work Rowan gets in this ball game.
Fake the handoff over the middle, looking for Buckman this time. Does he make the catch? Columbia trying to say he didn't grab it, but the referees saying it is a completion. You see the Columbia players pretty vociferously saying, hey, he dropped that one.
It looked like a clean catch from up here. Obviously, we didn't have the best angle with a lot of players involved, but good job by the Hoya offense there. Good job by Tim Barnes reading that fake, getting it to Buckman, and a good job securing the catch for him.
Landon Beatty, one of the folks really telling the referee, no, that's not there. Now they'll hand it off. Vallis trying to get to the outside. Will he get to the sticks? He will. And first down yardage for Alex Vallis. Turned on that speed at the last minute and gets across the sticks.
It's about body blows, man. You saw them work the middle of the field in the pass game. Short speed out on first down. Now you come back on third and short with the outside zone play. And great job right there. Great blocking up front. Vallis gets to the outside, and it's just a foot race.
So 1st and 10 for Georgetown. Brandon Williams, the lone receiver to the left side of the formation. Again, Hoyas without Justin Hill today. Vallis will take the handoff, tries to get up, and he'll be swarmed by 2 or 3 Columbia defenders.
Yeah, you saw that Columbia defensive line reset the line of scrimmage on that one. Not really anywhere to go if you're Vallis, and you just kind of protect the football like he did right there.
Yeah, and that was Christian Conway, their stud outside linebacker. Had last week in the St. Francis game had 15 tackles just by himself. So a very active linebacker for the Columbia defense.
So a 2nd and 12 here. Barnes, blitz comes, gets it out. Williams makes a nice grab. He'll be pushed back, gets forward progress, almost out to the 50. So a 3rd and short after a nice snag by Williams.
Really nice grab there by Williams. And like you mentioned there, Emory, going after Cameron Rowan again, staying away from Katz's side of the field, using Brandon Williams' speed, using that big body that he has, running that comeback route, beautifully done by him, good catch. And again, we'll see throughout the course of the game how often they go to Katz's side.
Yeah, the junior from Durham, North Carolina is going to get a lot of work today.
3rd and 4 here. Need to get it to the 47 for a first. Barnes again out to Williams. Had someone all over his back. Still makes the catch. Cameron Rowan was all over him, but Williams showing off that talent.
I like the placement on that throw. He spot through that football, and that's something you don't have to be upset about. You want him to throw it to a certain spot in that situation, and it proved to be a good one because he was able to come up with the catch.
So Hoyas switching personnel pretty liberally. You see out there now not Winston Jackson jumping out there. New receiver into the game for the Hoyas. That's Michael Darius. Had a catch last week. A bunch formation. Georgetown looking to move it down the field, going deep's got a man, looking for Darius. He makes the catch, and he's into the end zone. Big play, Hoyas, touchdown.
That's a heck of a throw right there. He hit the receiver right in stride, and he went after Jared Katz, the big-time playmaker. And that's what happened when you don't go to a guy too often. You kind of lull them to sleep, and you see right there in the replay, great route, great throw, and a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, you said it best, Emory. Great throw there by Timmy Barnes, putting it perfectly in stride. Katz is a big-time cornerback, so if you put that ball a little bit behind him, he's going to have some make-up speed to get there, make a play on the football. Great job by Barnes putting it out there, and a good job by Williams securing that catch and beating Katz off the line of scrimmage as well.
Darmstadter puts it up and through, and Rob Scarlotta happy. He's halfway out on the field congratulating his offense, and a big play there. The longest pass of the season for the Hoyas, and that was all pass. No catch and run there like some of you quarterbacks like to do, Mike. He goes deep and hits Darius. And you mentioned it, Darius, a guy who really hadn't seen a lot of time, got his first catch of the year last week, and who knows, maybe Katz, good film study guy, never saw him, maybe didn't give him enough respect there.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe that is the case. I think maybe Katz also last week, didn't really get thrown to it all. So maybe I don't want to say he had a big head, but maybe he's saying, okay, it's third down, or I'm sorry, it's first down. I can probably settle in a little bit here, and just got beat deep. So great job by Barnes realizing he had the one-on-one coverage, and a great throw by him putting it out there right in stride for his wide receiver.
See some of the season stats for the Hoyas at 29 points per game. They would love to go ahead and keep that, and the pace they're currently on, they'll get there. When you score in your first drive, that's got to make things happy.
And a byproduct of that will be that third down percentage. They were at 38% so far in the season, but you look at being able to and people talk about third down percentage and third down offense, but first down matters. You have to do a great job on first and second down before even third down matters. So great job, great opening drive so far by this Georgetown Hoya offense. Very impressive.
So now the other kicker for the Hoyas, that's Ben Pretty. Kick this one off, wobbly kick, and that's going to end up out of bounds. So a special teams miscue for the Hoyas. They were trying to keep it away from Josh Wainwright, the return man for Columbia, and that one goes out of bounds. So after the really big play, a little bit of a turn of momentum towards Columbia.
And that's the last thing you want to see if you're Coach Scarlotta after a big play. A great opening drive for the Hoya offense, and then they come out here, and now Columbia gets the ball on the 35-yard line. So great starting field position for the Columbia offense. We'll see if this defense can come out, put a big stop up on the field right now, and get the ball back to this Hoya offense.
7-play, 70-yard drive took 2 minutes and 56 seconds. So quick strike for the Hoyas in this one as they go ahead and get on the board. Now Columbia will come out with their quarterback, as Michael told you, Skylar Morningweg, the former Florida quarterback, the son of former Lions head coach Marty Morningweg. He's on the run trying to find something. Morningweg just gets out of bounds, gets about a yard on the play. Didn't have anything. Good coverage there by the Hoyas.
Yeah, I think that's something you're going to see Morningweg do a lot today, is running the football. Last year for this Columbia offense, he was the second leading rusher behind their starting running back. So a guy who can use his feet effectively. I want to see him try and stay in the pocket a little bit more and deliver the football down the field, but a guy who's not afraid to use his legs to pick up some yards.
Again, 5 wide receiver set once again. You see Columbia kind of call that play out, then get the play back from the sideline. Still plenty of time left on the play clock, over 10 seconds. Hoyas show blitz, come out of it. Morningweg looking over the middle. This one will be picked off. It is picked off. What a play there. Jethro Francois, he beats the receiver to the spot and gets the pick.
My ball, I wanted more, and that was a great job right there by Francois, because quite honestly, that was a great read. You had the middle of the field open. They went 5 wide, and that was just great anticipation by Francois to break on that ball and make a play. Good job by the Hoyas defense.
Yeah, you said it. It was a great read. They were running a cover 4 defense there, so he had the bender in the middle of the field open. He just threw it a little bit too far out in front. Francois made a great play stepping in front of the wide receiver to catch that football. Great job by him. Now the offense gets the football back relatively quickly. Let's see if they can really step on the pedal here and get off to that fast start that Coach Scarlotta really wants.
Barnes back to throw. Throws it out in the flat. This will be caught by Buckman. He's rocked and brought down after a gain of 4 on the play. Coming up from the safety spot there, Brock Kenyon.
And you have to like what you see out of Matt Buckman. Like we talked about for the Davidson game, he's a guy that's going to be a move piece in his offense. We're going to see him in line. We're going to see him flanked out wide. You may even see him in the backfield as well. So he's going to be a big part of their offense. It'll be interesting to see how Columbia defenses this.
Hoyas top 2 backs in the backfield now in Vallis and Ellsworth. flanking Barnes. They'll check back over to the sidelines, as you see so many college programs do now. Ellsworth trying to get to the outside. He's got a bit of the edge. He'll be hit and brought down, though. Doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Columbia, doing a great job on the defensive end.
Yeah, they strung that one out real well, and you saw Jared Katz, the corner, come fly up and lay the final blow on the tailback. As a running back, you don't want to see your field running short when you come in, across the field. You want to see it continue to expand because you know you have nowhere to go.
3rd and 7 here. Need to get it down to the Columbia 45-yard line for a first down. Vallis remains next to Barnes here. Coming up on 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. Hoyas after the interception looking to catch it in again. Barnes throws it out. Williams, that's going to be incomplete. 2 flags down on the play, though. These may offset. Looks like definitely interference and possibly some holding in the middle of the field. That one of those will be. Now we have to wait for the second call from the other official. And the referee, guys, was so quick to call his penalty that he didn't notice that one of his other officials had called a penalty on the other side of the field.
Yeah, there was definitely some hand fighting going on down here between Rowan and Williams. So it'll be interesting to see who they called the
holding. Number 65 offense. Defensive pass interference. Number 2 defense. Those penalties will offset. We'll replay the down.
So they'll replay the down there. There's both holding and pass interference called, so kind of no harm, no foul on that one.
Yeah, big break actually there for the Georgetown offense. It was incomplete pass. That would have been 4th down, so a big break for them. They get a second chance here. I really like what they're doing, though, with this matchup between Rowan and Williams. Williams, a big 6'3", 205 guy. Rowan, just a 6 foot, 195-pound guy, so they have the matchup that they want there.
Columbia showing pressure as Barnes has 5 wide. They'll drop out of it. Barnes steps up, keeps the play alive. He's going to tuck and run with it. He'll get down, and he'll be short of the sticks by about 2 yards.
Yeah, nearly missed a sack right there if you're Columbia, but if you're Barnes, you have to make that decision quicker to take off and run, because once you break that first wave of defenders, you have to tuck it and use your athleticism right there. Okay, now you check, no one's open, take off, makes that guy miss, but I think that a little bit of hesitance kind of saved Columbia in that situation.
So the Hoyas bring out Harry McCollum, 11 punts on the year, averaging about 45 yards, takes his time, a little directional kick, trying to keep it away. Quick bounce and swarmed under. Great special teams there by the Hoyas as Wainwright gets absolutely nothing, and Columbia's been deep in their own territory.
It doesn't look like it, though, but I think that was a smart play by Wainwright coming up and fielding that football. That ball was slowly starting to die. You had 3 Hoya defenders getting down there real quick. They could have pinned that ball down on the 1-yard line. So Wainwright probably saved them 10 yards on that play, just coming up and taking a hit.
It's never something that's fun to do, but it's a necessary evil sometimes.
Coaches will tell you it's either you or the ball.
So Columbia's second drive of the game after the first one was stopped by the Jethro Francois interception. Now handoff. Schroer up the middle. Hit a few times, eventually brought down after a gain of 2.
Javion Butler with the tackle there. Last week, a guy who had 7 tackles, leads the team right now with 14 tackles. A guy who has been all over the field for this Hoya defense throughout the course of these first 2 games. Really becoming a big play guy for them.
And he's built like a safety who plays all over for his defense.
Chris Schroer, the junior running back, faked the handoff to him. Morningweg, pocket collapsing. He'll swing it out to Schroer, trying to make a move. Will be hit and brought down. Again, another good play by the Hoya defense. This time coming up to make that stop, Javion Butler.
Yeah, there's Butler again, just coming up, making a great open field tackle there too. Very difficult thing to do for a college football player. Reads the play well, sees that he's being flushed, reads the play, just comes up and makes a perfect open field tackle. Doesn't let the stiff arm get too close to him. Like we mentioned, just a great playmaker for this Hoya defense.
So Morningweg chasing 3rd and 6 here. Back to throw, setting up the screen. Hit and brought down short of the sticks. Hoyas with a nice defensive stop there. Looked like it would be getting there for a second, but I tell you what, guys, both Daniel Yankovic and Javion Butler out there, 2 smallish linebackers that can run. That's a tough play to run against that.
It is. It's a very tough. Screens are very tough when you have very active athletic linebackers. So you saw both of them on the last 3 plays being involved in the play. Yankovic, good to see him back out here, really making an impact for this defense. So look for both of those guys to fly around throughout the course of the day for this Hoya defense.
Outside of the one play, you have to give credit to both defenses. They're really answering the bell so far.
Nizelek kicks it away, high but returnable. Vallis is going to drop it. Can he get back on top of it? That's the question. He will. Hit the turf, but Alex able to grab that one, and the Hoyas save what would have been a huge mistake.
Yeah, and I was about to make the comment that I hated punts like that because they're turning over pretty quickly, and by the time you really get a good handle on it, it hits you right in the chest, and you tend to drop the ball, just like he did right there.
Columbia with pretty good coverage there, made it a tough catch, but Hoyas hold on to it, and right now it's a tough going early on for Columbia. The interception, then a 3 and out. So the Hoyas kind of having things their way early. Barnes leads them back out for their 3rd drive of the game. First series of the game went to Darius. They're going to go deep to him again. Darius down the sidelines. This will be knocked away. This time they try to pick on the other corner, Cameron Rowan. He's up to the challenge.
Yeah, Rowan had great coverage on that play and on the play they called pass interference on him, but you like how he's responding to the challenge. He's going to get a lot of work like we talked about earlier in this broadcast, but answering the call, being in great position and turning around, finding the football and making a play on it. That's a great job, textbook defensive play right there by Rowan.
A little mad bomber early, Michael.
I like it. Air it out.
When in doubt, air it out.
Shocker, the quarterback wants to go deep. Barnes, swing pass out in the flat. Vallis hit by his own man. He'll jump back up, gets close to the original line of scrimmage, not much more. As Columbia, again, the defense starting to go ahead and keep everything on the outside, have to go wide.
Yeah, that was John Marco Ria, their middle linebacker, that came up and just blew up the play. Harrell was out there trying to block him. He came up, pushed Harrell back into the backfield, and by the time that Alex Vallis caught the football, he was right into his face. So a difficult thing to do when you get to get yards when you got your defender and your own guy right there. So good job by Ria on that one.
Again, Columbia showing pressure. Tommy Jessen into the game for the Hoyas as they go 5 wide again. Seen it a few times so far. Pass out in the flat. Jessen had the ball, probably didn't have first down yardage, but goes off his chest. Let's go ahead and send it down to our Anna Tarullo on the sidelines.
Defensive lineman Hunter Kislick is coming off a huge performance at Marist last week. The senior's 2 blocked field goals were a huge key in the Hoyas' 2017 victory and earned him Corvallis Patriots League Special Teams Player of the Week and Stats FCS National Special Teams Player of the Week. Guys.
Thank you, Anna. Of course, Hunter Kislick with a fantastic week last time out 2 weeks ago against Marist with his 2 block kicks, really key to preserving things for the Hoyas. McCollum, on to kick this one away. Chasing Wainwright back inside his own 15-yard line, looking for some space, trying to get to the outside. He'll be hit and he'll run out of bounds as, again, we pointed him out in the pregame, Michael, Blaze Brown there on special teams.
Yeah, Blaze Brown, a huge special teams guy, but we also pointed out in pregame that it was big to force Columbia to drive the full length of the field. 2 punts now that we've seen from this Georgetown team force Columbia deep into their own end. Right now they're starting from the 25-yard line. That's a long field to drive for this Columbia offense, and they haven't produced anything so far. And right now it looks like we actually have a quarterback change for the Columbia offense as well.
Yeah, Anders Hill and the 6'4", 215-pound junior out of Boulder, Colorado, only threw 1 pass last week, but they said expect him to play a little bit in this contest. Hill going over the middle. That one's going to be complete. Big yardage there all the way out close to the 50-yard line. Able to hit his wide receiver there in stride as it was going through. Cameron Dunn getting the big gain.
Nice concept right there. They ran that slot guy down the seam and just opened up the short in route right there to the receiver. And go in there, do your job, make the catch, got the first down.
So 1st and 10. Hill rolling out, looking to the flat. This one's going to be airmail, looking for his wide receiver, Christian Everett.
I like how they're picking up the pace a little bit on offense, though. It's something that we were told they were going to be doing a little bit more of throughout the course of this season. So I like how they're picking up the pace. It's a way to get your offense into a little bit more of a rhythm, especially with a new quarterback coming in. So I like what they're doing so far.
Yeah, really, most of that game last week played by Skylar Morningweg. Really, they think Anders Hill more of a run threat, but Nice pass to start things off. Now they get it to Wainwright on the jet sweep. Hit and brought down, eventually pushed out of bounds as Akiri finished him off as a few of the Hoya linebackers got in on the play.
Right now you see Columbia is playing mostly the perimeter game because they can't get anything going inside because of that defensive line. That was one of the keys. You look at that Columbia offensive front, 3 out of the 5 starters returned this year. They have to do a better job in opening up holes on the inside.
Yeah, Tyler Schoenwolf, the only one who hadn't started the game for the Lions coming into the season. Hill, 3rd and 6, out in the flat, knocked down, almost picked off as Javion Butler skied up, hit him in the chest, couldn't corral it, but looks like he'll go ahead and force a 4th down.
Yeah, there he is again. Javion Butler making a big play for this Hoya defense. Stood on the line of scrimmage instead of coming up and rushing, so he read the play right away that it was going to be a quick pass. Stayed at the line of scrimmage here like we're going to see. He read it right away. It was a quick pass, stayed there, waited for the throw, jumped up and made a play. Great, smart defensive play there by Javion Butler.
And he nearly had the interception.
Almost.
JT3 would have to like those ups. Got up and skied to knock that one down. Punt away. This is their other punter as Vallis is going to let it bounce. And Columbia is going to have a chance to down this one inside the 1-yard line. That's why Columbia uses the 2 punters, folks. Matthew Panton there, able to pooch punt that one in, and great special teams by the Lions to pin Georgetown deep in their own territory.
Yeah, we were talking about Georgetown. That being a key for them was pinning them deep. Great job here by Columbia, pinning Georgetown's offense deep. Now, they've struggled a little bit on these last 2 possessions. Outside of that first one, they really haven't gotten anything moving. So now you have to drive 99 yards. A great job there by the coverage team, getting down there and securing that ball right at the 1-yard line.
I think it's safe to say that both teams do a great job of emphasizing how important special teams is because we've seen 2 outstanding special teams units so far in this game.
Christian Bermudez, the big back for the Hoyas, now into the game. As literally, folks, you can see that ball is sitting there basically on the shadow of the goal line. Bermudez up the middle. He'll be hit and brought down. Gets a little space, not too much. Looked like a promising play at first, but only gains about a yard.
Yeah, this is where you ask your offensive line to get a lot of push up front. This is where those sled drills back in the summer, those two-a-days, come to pay off because you got to get moving to get these guys to get out of the shadow of their own end.
And right now, if you're the offense, you're working to at least get to the 5-yard line. That gives your punter the regular 15 yards he needs. So you got to get the ball to at least the 5-yard line. Hopefully getting that 1 first down that you need to really clear him, but you got to get the ball to at least the 5.
Barnes with Bermudez. He's going to throw this one out in the flat. Harrell's going to make the catch. Tiptoes. The referee will actually mark him a little further up. Looked like he came close to stepping out of bounds, but that turn-up, Emory, got him a few more yards.
And that's where the weight room comes into play because he took a big blow right there, didn't fall out of bounds, and was able to turn his shoulders upwards to be able to get that extra yard or 2. Now it makes it 3rd and manageable, and your entire playbook is quite honestly open right here, Mike.
And those few yards that he picked up were actually huge because had he gone out of bounds, he would have been at the 5-yard line. Now they're at the 8-yard line where they have a lot more room to punt the ball right now if they don't get this first down.
Hoyas, 3rd and 3 here. Need to take it to the 11 for a first down. Ellsworth trying to bounce it outside. He'll be hit and brought down, so that yardage they got back is swallowed back up as, again, it was Christian Conway, the captain, making the big play.
Credit to the Lions' defensive and how they're playing the perimeter because, again, there's not been any room on the outside for Georgetown's running game. They've had not a lot of success. See right there, setting edge by the defensive end, kind of forced it back to belly a little bit outside, and now your alley defenders can come up and make the play.
And Nick James getting beat on that one there. You don't see that very often. So McCollum gets that full yardage, but he is right there on the end line. Should be good field position for Columbia. McCollum's punt. Take a few bounces. Wainwright comes up. He'll be hit and he fumbles the ball. It'll be picked up and fallen on by the Hoyas. And again, the Hoyas with some big plays early in this game. The recovery that time by Jethro Francois and the big hit to knock it loose coming from Matthew Deal.
And like we talked about in the opener, don't let mental mistakes become physical mistakes. That was a mental mistake right there, trying to run without the football, and you got hit at the same time. Again, those turnover punts come so quickly that you really can't judge it. Great job by that Georgetown special teams unit to make a play.
Yeah, and I complimented Wainwright a couple punts ago there, getting the ball, coming up and fielding it at the 10. This is a position that you don't want to come up and field that football. A couple of yards here and there means absolutely nothing for where your offense starts. Huge mistake by the freshman there. Now this offense gets to come back out on the field, hopefully get something going with a little bit of momentum from that turnover.
Barnes checking over the formation. He'll fake the handoff, now throws over the middle. Buckman's going to make the catch, still on his feet. Big Matt Buckman, first down yardage, and the ball comes out. Did he get it taken away? Referee's signal, still waiting on the ref. They're going to say that's going to be Georgetown ball. So a Lion came out of the pile with it, but they say Buckman held on to it. It got pulled out when he was on the ground.
And if he pulled it out of Buckman's arms, he definitely earned that one. That's a big guy. Boom, right there, knocking over one defender. And good job holding him up. And it looks like he was down before that football came out.
That was close for sure.
Right,
that
really close.
No replay in use today. Landon Beatty was the guy who thought he pulled it out, but the call goes Georgetown's way. And 1st and 10 at their 33-yard line. Barnes looking to throw, steps up in the pocket, going deep for Harrell. He got hit, and a flag will come down. Now the question will be, referee's going to talk about this one, was it even catchable? And they're going to wave it off and say uncatchable as the official who threw his hat off, marking that Harrell had gone out of bounds. The other one called the pass interference.
Flag, the defensive
That's a good job right there by Conway, knowing where he was on the field.
Uncatchable.
And playing to that sideline, escorting him out to where Barnes had really nowhere to throw the football.
I'll tell you what, though, it was an incomplete pass and not a huge, not a productive play on offense. But Tim Barnes did an excellent job on that play at stepping up in the pocket. Both of his tackles were getting rushed on the outside. He did an excellent job using his feet to step up and actually give himself some time to deliver the football down the field.
So 2nd and 10 here for the Hoyas. Scarlotta switching his guys up. Harrell now goes in motion. He'll get it. No, Barnes will keep it up the middle. Hit and brought down at the 30. That one looked like it opened up really well, but the Lions close it down pretty quickly.
Yeah, small bites of the apple here for this offense. Again, sometimes you take that shot deep down the field. Sometimes you work your small game. You work your running game, if not with the back, with the quarterback. So when you have that athleticism at the quarterback position, your offensive play calling tends to be a little bit more versatile.
See how the Hoyas attack this one here. Looking at 3rd and 7. Closing in on field goal range for Henry Darmstadter. Vallis takes on the handoff, trying to get to the outside. Again, nothing doing against this Columbia defense. Those wide runs not working so far today.
Great stop there by Columbia's defense, and these linebackers have made their presence known throughout the course of this game so far. They got 3 senior linebackers, which is very rare to find in college football, having 3 senior guys. All of them have extensive experience, all very good players. That last tackle there made by John Marco Ria. So a very productive outing there for the Columbia defense, forcing a long field goal attempt now after that turnover.
Short of a 48-yarder for Darmstadter. Kick is up. Got some distance. Does he put it through? He does. Henry Darmstadter, his first make over 30 yards of the year, and it comes at a key time to make it a successful Hoyas drive.
Well, again, points add up. So you need points whether they are 2, 3, or 7. So good job right there, getting enough yards to get the field goal in. But Columbia's defense, once again, has stepped up and has shown they have the athleticism at the second level to stop the run, going to the perimeter side, but Georgetown getting field goals, getting points, and coming off of a turnover is a big deal.
Yeah, we talked about it during the pregame that one of the keys to the game was for Georgetown to make sure that they cashed in on every point that they had available out on the field. Darmstadter came out there and absolutely drilled that field goal, giving the Hoyas 3 points, not leaving those 3 points on the field, but I think that was a win for the Columbia defense. Great job by them forcing that field goal.
Let's send it down to our Anna Tarullo.
I just saw senior linebacker Casey Coons sitting on the trainer's table, icing his left elbow, flexing his hand a little bit, and the trainers just came over and fit him with a sling. No word on if he'll return or how serious the injury is. Guys.
Thank you much, Anna. So Matt Buckman getting some treatment on the sidelines. That would be a key injury for the Hoyas if he's not able to get back into the game. Of course, a preseason All-Patriot League pick. So Ben Pretty on to boot this one away. Wainwright, the lone returner. This one, high kick. It'll stay in the field of play. Wainwright takes it at his own 5-yard line. Up the middle's got a seam, but it closes quickly as another good play by Javion Butler.
Kid's everywhere. That's all you can say about him. He's everywhere. Defense, special teams, put him on offense, Coach.
Right. You would think he's a senior out there with the amount of plays he's making, but this guy's only a sophomore, 6'2", 205.
He's got a bright future for him, that's for sure.
Goodness.
You saw that shot of Matt Buckman on the sidelines. Boy, is one of the things when we talked to Coach Rob Scarlatta, said, look, a lot of this comes down to can you survive the injury bug, and already somewhat depleted coming into the game for the Hoyas with some key guys out of things in Hill, Masterson, losing a few more. Let's see how it goes today. Anders Hill stays in the game as the quarterback. Hit and brought down after giving this one off to Tanner Thomas. Gains about 2 on the play.
Yeah, great job there by Leo Lawfrey, the senior linebacker. Having a really solid year for this Hoya defense so far. Just a good job coming up, filling the gap, making the tackle.
And that could have popped for a big gain. That was good inside running right there by the tailback, but good job right there by Lockery.
3 wide receivers, a wing back as well for Columbia. Hill back to throw, gets hit up high, stays on his feet, shakes one tackler, can't shake the second as Leo Lockery comes up, lays a hit on the quarterback, and keeps it just a 2-yard gain.
That's 2 big sticks back to back right there by Lockery. And again, you saw the mobility by the quarterback making things happen, Andrews Hill, but again, he couldn't get out of the way. Lockery actually dropped back in zone, flies up in space, and makes a tackle.
And that's how the first quarter will end. Georgetown up on Columbia at 10-0. You're watching it right here on the Patriot League Network on Campus Insiders.
In the Patriot League, our playbooks look a little different. Here, we play to win on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. A competitive athletic experience with high academic standards. Today's scholar athlete, tomorrow's leaders. That's the Patriot League.
To the homecoming crowd here at Georgetown, psyched up for their homecoming Hoyas. Here you see on the field, Michelle Conkley, Paralympian from Georgetown, had a fantastic Olympics down in Rio. You see all the medals that she won, winning gold in the S9 50-meter, also 100-meter freestyle, as well as a silver in the 34.4 by 100 freestyle relay, also a bronze in the medley relay, set a world record in the 100-meter freestyle, also held the record in the 50-meter freestyle as well. So you talk about a fantastic performance. She had one in Rio.
That's a lot of medals, man.
That's a lot of medals. We were talking about it during the break.
That's a lot of medals.
That's a lot of medals. Good for her.
That's the one that kind of weighs your neck down a little bit. You have to walk around with all those, but I'm sure she wouldn't give any of them back.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Flavor Flav would be proud, man.
Yeah,
Look at that.
That's a lot of medals right there. Congratulations to Michelle. What a performance by her. So back to the game, and 3rd and 7. The Hoyas looking for another stop against this Colgate offense. An interception earlier in the game, a 3-and-out. Hill back to throw. He's going to be flushed. Now he's thinking about his running back. Can't find him. He'll be hit and brought down. Depends on the spot. I think he gets a good one. I think he's going to have it.
He earned it if he got it, man. That was a huge hit he took. Again, it's about if you decide to run and take off, make that decision quicker so that way you don't get that big hit that you just suffered on that play.
I actually think him not making a decision on that one helped him out a little bit because he was sitting there playing with the pump fake a little bit, and that actually forced Javion Butler to hang back a little bit. Had he just taken off, Javion Butler would have had more of a head start to go after him. So that's one of those rare occurrences where him actually playing around worked out for him.
Hill hands it off up the middle. Thomas hit and brought down after a gain of 3 on the play. Let's send it down to Ann on the sidelines.
Gold medalist Michelle Conkley, and you suffered an injury here. 2011. What happened?
Yeah, so right in Village C, I slipped and fell out of my 5-story window and shattered my L2 vertebrae. So I suffered spinal cord damage that left me with permanent weakness in my left leg, which led me to the Paralympics.
And what was that road to recovery like? How did you overcome that?
It was grueling. Yeah, I took a whole semester off school and just did full-time rehab and regained the ability to walk, which was incredible. And then coming back to the Hilltop and having my teammates here really made the difference in allowing me to get back to a normal life.
Absolutely. So being back on campus with that gold medal around your neck, what is that like? What are you feeling?
It's awesome. I have so much pride in being both a Hoya and a Team USA swimmer. So to be able to kind of bring those two things together is really an awesome culmination. And these are my friends that have been there from the beginning. Like, they saw me in the hospital. They saw me at my lowest point. So to be able to come back and show them what they've helped me accomplish is really incredible.
It's pretty huge. And what was your favorite part of Rio?
I have to say that after that first gold medal, I touched the wall, swam a world record, and standing on the podium and seeing the flag raise was the pinnacle of my athletic career for sure.
Thank you so much, Michelle, and congratulations.
Anna Trullo with Michelle Conkley. Congratulations again on her fantastic performance. Back to the game, guys, and we saw a couple plays ago, Anders Hill took a huge shot from Hunter Kislick. We'll see exactly how he's able to rebound from that pretty well as he ran it there. 2nd and 4 as Hill over the middle. That will be picked off. Hoya's big play again. This time it's David Akiri. Open field trying to get to the outside. He'll be hit and brought down by one of the running backs coming back into the play. But again, the Hoya's defense coming up large in this contest.
2 big interceptions in this ball game, and both by the secondary. And you have to love what you see right here, dropping back, reading the coverage. Again, it's the same route essentially that they try to run on the other interception. So good job by Georgetown just adjusting and making plays.
Yeah, and David Akiri just read the quarterback's eyes on that one. You could tell Anders Hill was looking at him the entire way. They're running that cover 4 defense again, which is a tough defense to stop a 4 vertical concept. But on that concept, you have to be looking for the number 2 receiver guy, not the number 3 who's going to be running across the field, which is the guy that he threw to. That's the guy that is supposed to take that safety over. So you can't be throwing to that guy, especially if you're going to be staring down at him. I mean, Akiri just made a great play reading those eyes.
So Hoyas with a chance to add to their lead. Barnes steps up, looking deep for Darius again. This will be overthrown as Columbia had pretty good coverage on the play.
Yeah, that play was taken away essentially by Columbia's defense. They really had no options on that throw. And you saw on the previous drive with Columbia, Anders Hill running the football and taking shots. I'm pretty sure they warmed his ribs up pretty nicely on that last drive, which may have affected that last interception.
So the overthrow there. Yeah, Hunter Kislick laid a shot on him, and Hill kind of doubled over for a few seconds, had to catch his breath, and took one in the sternum. Barnes hands it off. Vallis pushing forward. Nice little end of that run to get him 4 yards on the play after he was hit at about 2.
And you saw in that previous play, Coach Scarlotta coaching up the receiver to keep it skinny on that deep play. He kind of carried himself in the coverage. Had he stayed north and south, he probably would have had an opportunity to make a play.
Yeah, I mean, as a former quarterback, I love them throwing the ball around the yard today. But this is a Columbia defense that gave up over 200 yards rushing last week against St. Francis. So I think they need to get back to running the football a little bit.
Quick swing pass. Vallis stayed on his feet for a second, then gets brought down on a nice play, stepping out, making that tackle again as Vallis, the Hoyas, they try to get to the outside, not really working for him today.
Yeah, good job right there by Daniel DiLorenzi making the tackle, a freshman getting out there and making his reps count. I mean, you're a freshman playing on a big-time stage at homecoming here at Georgetown, and good job right there making a play in space, forcing a 4th down.
So Hoyas, despite multiple turnovers, haven't converted as many as they would like into points. But McCollum a chance to pin the Lions back deep. High kick, aiming for the corner. Check this out, and they're going to say that's a touchback. And groans from the crowd. And again, that's not completely that official's call. He's getting help from another official kind of lining it up. But aiming for the coffin corner, couldn't find it.
We don't have the greatest angle up here, but that sure looked like it was closer to the 5 or 10 yard line from our angle. But ultimately a touchback, so ball's going to come out to the 20 here, and Columbia's going to get the football back.
And Rob Scarlotta is hot. He's out in the middle of these 3 officials.
Yeah, I think that you know, I don't want to say clearly, but it really did look like it went out prior to reaching the.
Yeah, I think he's got a legitimate argument out there.
And you wonder, is he angry at one of the other officials wasn't in position to help that official? Usually they do it by two guys lining it up. So after that, ball will go to the 20 instead of maybe inside the 5. As Morningweg back in the game, he hands this one off up the middle for a decent gain there to Allen Watson.
I love the little ISO power play where you loop that guard around inside the hole, you run right behind it, and you have the running back that's hiding behind his big offensive lineman. But good job right there by Georgetown making a stop.
Watson, the senior running back. They've got a good mix of upperclassmen and freshmen in their backfield. Morningweg, plenty of time, can't do anything with it. Hit and brought down, and a flag goes down, so maybe a hold as well. Let's see what the call is. As the Georgetown defense getting home, it will be holding, so let's see Rob Scarlatta's decision on this.
Number 59 offense.
Taken down by Brian Jefferson.
So now they're going to push him back. Luke Thompson out there acts as the defensive coordinator, I think, giving it because Coach Scarlatta was up coaching up the quarterbacks.
Just good coverage here by the Hoya defense. Nothing available. Morningweg had nowhere to go with the football. Probably could have made a little bit earlier decision to run the football, but just good overall defensive play there by Georgetown.
You want to see these guys start to work that short passing game. I don't think this deep stuff is going to work right now with 2 interceptions.
Second and long. Morningweg went for his first read, not there. He'll throw this one up for grabs, takes a hit for his troubles, and again, it's Leo Lockery on the spot.
Yeah, Lockery has been all over the field, and both quarterbacks have seen the wrath or felt the wrath of Lockery on this play. Again, if you're Morningweg, there's nothing on this front side play where you're trying to throw, and could have got rid of it a little bit earlier. That way he wouldn't have to take that hit.
Yeah, I wasn't sure exactly what he was waiting on to throw the football away. He clearly didn't have anything there. Could have just thrown the football away. Lockery would have had to back off. So this Columbia offense is clearly trying to still find their rhythm, not really trying to figure out what is working and what can work.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't catch the referee's explanation there. I think they moved it back maybe because it was an incomplete pass on second down. It moved it over to the other hash mark. Pressure coming again, screen set up. Breaks one tackle. Still on his feet. Still inching forward before Akiri, and the rest of the Hoya defense get there. It looks like on that one, Watson was trying to break that open for a first down. Came a couple times, and finally Akiri there to stop in his tracks.
I can't knock the effort on that one. That was a great job by the running back, breaking all those tackles. And Morningweg was waiting for the running back to clear on the screen to help him out. Otherwise, he was going to take another shot by the linebacker.
Yeah, this was a really good job by Morningweg, letting that defense come to him. When he actually got the ball to his running back there, I thought he was going to have a little bit of an opening, but the Georgetown defense just smothered him at the line of scrimmage, not allowing anything to happen.
Nizelik's end-over-end punt. Taken by Vallis. Got some room to the outside. Can he get there? Looking for a block. He'll cut it back. Hit and knocked out of bounds around the 35-yard line. And, guys, a very good play there. Vallis, he pointed out to one of his guys, and they're slapping him on the helmet right now. Number 44, Christian Tate, had a chance to clip a guy in the back. He pulled up, let Vallis cut behind him, gets a few yards, but more importantly, doesn't lose 15.
And that's what I was about to bring up. That was a great senior play by a freshman making that non-block right there. But right there, you know what? Let me just help you out and move forward, but I'm not going to get the clip and move this thing back 15 yards.
This is a very important drive here for this Georgetown offense, I think. They've gotten a couple of turnovers, and they really haven't done anything with the football since that first drive. Now they get the ball at the 36-yard line, already pretty much in field goal territory. They need to get something going and get into the end zone.
You guys calling for the run. Bermudez in the game. He'll take it up the middle, hit and brought down after a gain of 1, but maybe Georgetown putting their hammer into the game now.
Yeah, this Columbia defense, I'm sorry, Mike, has to be tired. I mean, it's such a quick turnaround coming right back on the field. So this is when you want to, like you mentioned, run the football.
And I think this is what you have to do if you're the Georgetown offense right now. Your identity is running the football. You don't have a bunch of guys out there that you can win throwing it 50 to 60 times a game. That's just not the personnel and not the way that this Georgetown offense is built. They need to get back to running the football and then working on those run-pass options that they have available as well.
2nd and 9. Bermudez, fake handoff to him. They'll get it out to Harrell in the flat. Cuts it back. Nice play. Harrell inside the 20-yard line for another big gain for the Hoyas.
It's a good job working right back across the field. He went from right to left, found the open guy, and good job right there by Harrell getting upfield, not dancing, and getting the first down.
And plays like that are set up because they ran the football on that first down. They ran a play-action pass there. All the linebackers for Columbia were sucked up to the line of scrimmage, gave his guys one-on-one coverage out to the boundary there, and then they just make a play. That's what you want from this Georgetown offense. That's what you want to see. You want to see the run set up the pass.
Vallis in the backfield with Barnes. Hoyas going all receivers, no tight end. Rolling. Barnes looking for someone to clear. Incomplete, but a flag goes down as he was looking for McLaughlin. Let's see the call.
Pass intended for.
Referee's talking this one over. That's usually in the area of holding or pass interference. But a long conversation usually not good for the offense.
Holding. Number 21, defense. That holds against an eligible receiver.
Be holding on
That'll
the defense.
result in an automatic first down after half the distance enforcement.
Things really going the Hoyas' way right now, guys. And as Mike, as you said, really good time to punch one in here.
Yeah, they have to punch one in right now. They've gotten a couple of drives that they haven't really done anything with. They've gotten some turnovers that they really haven't done anything with. Now they have to capitalize on this good field position that Vallis gave them from that punt return.
So 1st and goal here from the 9. Barnes taking the direct snap, getting to the outside. He'll cut it back, runs over a man. Touchdown, Hoyas. Tim Barnes, we talked about his dual threat ability, shows it there as he takes it in from 10 out.
Yeah, a guy that's 6'3", 205 from Oradell, New Jersey, near my area, was able to tuck it in and run it right in for a touchdown. But a great job answering the call on this short field that they got set up by their outstanding special teams units.
And that drive was classic Georgetown offense. That's what they want. They had a couple of run plays built in, a couple of short pass plays, and then Timmy Barnes using his dual threat ability to get into the end zone. Great drive by the Hoya offense there.
Darmstadter bangs it through, and Georgetown, Rob Scarlatta talked about the fast start. He's got one today.
Just a simple designed run here for Timmy Barnes, using his athleticism, not much up in the middle that he had, bounced it outside, and then lowered that shoulder to get into the end zone. Like you mentioned there, Jeremy, a great start so far. 8 minutes here into the second, or 8 minutes left in the second quarter, and they're already up 17-0. This is the kind of fast start that Coach Scarlatta wanted, and now I think you also have to build on this, closing out the half here. Don't take your foot off the gas. Keep pressing. Keep forcing this Columbia team to make mistakes, and now you get an even bigger lead going into halftime, and that's what Coach Scarlatta really wants to then seal the deal.
And on the flip side, you look at Columbia. We've seen this time and time again where a Columbia football team will get down and tank it, but you're about to learn a lot about Al Bagnoli, his coaching style, his coaching tactics, and how he's able to keep this team like, hey, we're only down 3 plays. We're not down 17 points. We're down 3 plays. We only need to make 3 of those plays, and we're right back in it.
I think you just made a great point there, Jeremy. We're going to learn a lot about Columbia here in these next 8 minutes and the culture that Coach Bagnoli is bringing in. You know, in the past, these Columbia teams, they get down by 17 and they call it quits. There's 8 minutes left here in the second quarter that they can do a lot with. We'll see what kind of attitude Coach Bagnoli puts into them.
Pretty's kick will be taken by Wainwright just outside his goal line. Trying to find a seam, and again, the Georgetown special teams is there. Just so many guys rocketing down the field and not letting Wainwright have a chance to breathe.
And you don't see anyone getting out of position, and that's normally the biggest thing on special teams. Guys are flying down the field in their rush lanes, and they're getting all over the place. But when you're able to stay in your rush lanes, the returner has literally nowhere to go with the football.
Wainwright, a guy that can be dangerous, but the Hoyas have held him in check so far today. Jake Johnson there on the sidelines. Of course, Johnson, big play earlier in the season, big pick. cousin of Deshaun Jackson. Morningweg, quick throw out in the flat. Got some space out there as he gets it out to Scooter Hollis. He'll get close to the sticks.
Again, that's how you attack it. A lot of times you'll see coaches come out, want to go try to get all 17 points right away, but you can't. You know, it's one bite at a time, and this is how you get it. That was a great play on first down.
Brings up a 2nd and 2. They'll hand it off. Schroer's going to have first down yardage. He'll also get a few hits for his troubles as well, and then a little extracurriculars after the play. Dan Yankovic in there with a offensive lineman for Columbia.
Yeah, I think you said it best there, Emory. Just a great first 2 plays so far. They don't want to come out here and try and get it all back on one play. You're seeing that so far. Just a quick pass to begin with, not just an easy run play up the middle, getting that first down, and now they're on track.
Low snap, and Morningweg gets it out quickly. Gets another good gain and close to the sticks once again. This time he finds Toure Douglas, and he should have first down yardage.
And the biggest adjustment they've made offensively is coming back to their quick passing game. I thought they got too enamored with the deep ball and the intermediate ball early on in the first quarter, which led to 2 interceptions. Right now, it's short, quick, and effective.
Morningweg pushing the pace. Quick screen out to the outside. Flag goes down, and then Hollis goes down as well as Akiri, Francois, and a few others jump on him.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to outflank this Georgetown defense very often. I think they got to stick with the short passing game, getting up the field a little bit, and stick to inside runs. It's very hard to outflank this Georgetown defense with the speed that they have at the linebacker position and in the secondary.
Holding. Number 7, offense. That penalty's declined. It will be 2nd down.
So they're going to decline this penalty as it was a 3-yard loss on the play.
And right now you're seeing a team that's just playing great perimeter defense, and the biggest thing I see right now is that no Javion Butler is on the field. So Columbia's having a lot of success with him being off of it.
Morningweg, little pressure. Now they'll blow this one dead, and the flag goes down. They'll say a false start on Columbia.
False start, offense. Number 65.
Starting to look like a promising drive, guys, has been short-circuited by some penalties.
Down.
2 steps forward, 2 steps back, and this is not what you want to see if you're Al Bagnoli. Just building some confidence. Now you find yourself in 2nd and 15 when you were making positive plays back to back to back, you know?
So 2nd and very long here. 19 to go for a first down. But still 2 plays to do it as we roll under 6.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Morningweg throws this one. It'll be incomplete. A lot of hand fighting there, but Jalen Goldwire gets away with it. And looking for the flag, the wide receiver, Christian Everett, he's not happy.
Yeah, you're right. That could have been called pass interference, a little bit of hand fighting, or at least illegal contact. But, you know, again, they didn't call it. Good job right there by that Georgetown defense. Now you really can sit back and play the sticks in the situation.
4 wide receivers set here as Schroer in the backfield with Morningweg. 3rd and 19. He's flushed. Gets around Lockery. Open, trying to find something downfield. Now he cocks it, throws it, complete, and very close to the sticks by the time it's all said and done. As a nice catch eventually coming open on the play was Douglas, and he gets about 2 yards away from the first down.
Yeah, there's no quitting Morningweg, I tell you that, man. He did a great job first evading the sack and then keeping that play alive and making something happen downfield.
Mike, you're pretty proud of that, I'm sure. That
yeah, it was just
open field.
It was a great job of just using his athleticism. You know, the quarterbacks that have the athleticism that him and the
Barnes.
other guys have, and Tim Barnes has, you know, those are the plays that they can make. You know, they get outside the pocket. You think the defense has the play won, and then they break free, and you get a gain of 18.
So Columbia here, 4th and 2. Schroer is going to get the first down. Big play for Columbia after the off-schedule play by Morningweg to get most of it back, and then they go to the big man in the backfield to get the 2 yards needed for the first down.
In those 2 plays right there, those are daggers for a defense. You know, you have a team in 2nd and 20. They get 18 yards on a scramble. Now it's 3rd and 2, and they get the first down. So those are tough plays for a defense to swallow.
Morningweg out in the flat, getting up the field and getting banged down by Jethro Francois, Scooter Hollis. Hollis gets up, but boy, did he take a lick.
Oh, he's going to feel that when Francois came up and laid a good pop on him. But this is showing what Al Bagnoli has preached to his football team. Don't quit. Don't give up. Even if it's fourth down, we're going to go for it. I believe in you. You believe in me, and we can make positive things happen.
Brendan Sawicki coming off the field, joining some of the other banged-up Hoyas. Looks like he's got his leg up, maybe having some cramping issues. That'd be a key loss for Georgetown. Already depleted a little bit with Hugh Masterson out today. Morningweg tries to step up, but he'll be hit and brought down as the Hoyas defense comes up with a sack. Loss of 2 on the play.
And they collapsed that right from the interior. That was right over the center for Columbia, Sean Wolf. Sean Wolf has to do a great job of keeping that pocket clean. And again, Georgetown with their depth up front defensively, the strength that they have with all of their defensive linemen makes it a tough matchup for Columbia.
So that'll set up a third, and we'll call it 6. Morningweg, 4-man rush, steps up, nothing there. He'll break, contain, try to get it with his feet, and will as he dives forward to the 30-yard line. So again, great coverage by the Hoyas, but Morningweg making something happen with his feet.
Niebrick like almost, being able to take off and make someone miss and get the first down, get down and keep the sticks moving.
He's doing a good job on this drive, just using his feet. And the thing I like most about it, though, is he's not just taking his drop and taking off. He's giving the play a chance to develop, looking for his guys down the field, not seeing anything open, and then making the decision to get some yards with his feet. So he's having a great drive so far.
1st and 10 again. Again, a quick screen out in the flat. This time the Hoyas are there on the play as it went to Scooter Hollis, and making that tackle there. Their set of corners, Jelani Williamson, Jethro Francois came up as well, finish him off.
I like what they're doing as far as getting to the spot first, and therefore he can't go out of bounds to stop the clock. So they're forcing him back inside. They're also chewing up the clock as well, which is going to make this drive tougher for Columbia.
No gain on the play. Again, Schroer, the veteran running back in the backfield, fake it to him. Morningweg, again, looking over the middle. This one will be completed. Gets it to Scooter Hollis and gets the first down on a 13-yard completion.
Finally completed that pass over the middle that they've been so searching for throughout the course of the game. And that one was wide open. Wasn't a play where the defensive back had a chance to make a play on it. So good job. Columbia finds themselves inside the 20-yard line.
Not a thing of beauty, but effective. Morningweg looking over the middle. This one will be hit. Ball's loose. Receiver goes down. No penalty flag as Akiri came up with a big hit. Didn't catch the number on that receiver, but Akiri definitely laying the lumber there.
Great play by Akiri on that one. I mean, Morningweg actually had his guy open. It was a good concept, but David Akiri just too quick and too fast. He got over there before the football did, made a huge hit on the wide receiver. I mean, just a great play, and it was a clean hit as well. Akiri got below that head and shoulder area, delivered into that chest area, and just a good job there by Akiri reading the play and coming up and breaking it up.
Yeah, Christian Everett, the receiver, a freshman, wasn't expecting that ball to come off right away, but that's a sight adjustment that you have to see as a receiver. Hey, they're blitzing off my side. I may be hot. I have to look back at the quarterback. So it was a great read by the QB, and the ball got there just in time as Francois did. And when you look at Akiri and Francois, those guys seem like they take gaining yards personal today. They're really putting some pain on these receivers and runners.
Yeah, and that's one of those throws that if you're Morningweg, you got to know it's a sight adjustment. You got to get the ball out quick, but you also can't lead your wide receiver on that play, and that's exactly what he did. He put the ball out in front trying to lead him. Those are one of those throws that you just got to stick on your guy, let him catch it and fall down.
2nd and 10, Morningweg goes through the cadence, then checks over as sees if his coaching staff gives him an adjustment here on the play. 3 wide receivers. Schroer trying to get to the outside. Lockery and a host of Hoyas there to stop him after a minimal gain. Leo Lockery's been everywhere today. Keep calling his name. Also Francois, Akiri, they're all stepping their game up.
Yeah, Phil Novakian on that play as well. Last week had a big game with 5 tackles. 2.5 tackles for loss and a 1.5 sacks. So another big-time playmaker for this Georgetown defense that we haven't heard a lot of today, but look for him to just keep playing well and solidifying that defensive line.
Morningweg rolls out, looking for a man. May have a chance to run it. He throws it instead, looking for Scooter Hollis. and incomplete. Mike, looked like he had some space there.
Yeah, he had some space to run the football, but he also had Scooter Hollis early, and I think he got a little bit greedy there, waiting for that corner route to open up in the end zone. Had he just dumped it off to Scooter Hollis right away or taken off and ran the ball with his feet, I think he probably would have gotten either the first down or close to the first down. So probably a bad decision there if you're Morningweg.
Nizilik on for the field goal, spotted at the 29, so a 39-yard field goal. Panton, the other punter, is his holder. Columbia trying to get on the board for the first time today. Nizilik, easy boot through, but he misses it. So Cameron Nizilik, the standout kicker, unable to put that one through, and Columbia comes up with nothing.
Well, you talk about a dagger for the defense as far as converting on 3rd and 19, 2nd and 20, something like that. But this is a dagger for Columbia. You work your way all the way down the field with the best drive of the game to not come away with points. This would happen in the first game versus St. Francis. They had opportunities, but you have to cash in. When I call it hitting your free throws. This is a free throw for you if you're Columbia, and you have to come away with points.
Unable to do it there, and really that's a big play there as Columbia gets the ball to start the second half. So they could have had a little run of maybe 10 straight points. Instead, the Hoyas have a chance to add on to their lead before the half.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaker for Columbia. A 7-minute drive that they put together that ends in nothing. It's a tough one to swallow for them.
Vallis up the middle, stays on his feet and pushes forward for about 3 yards.
This is an interesting drive here for Georgetown. A minute and a half left in the half. What do? Do they try and pick up the pace and get some more points? Or do they say, all right, we're up 17 points, let's not make any mistakes down here at our own end?
Yeah, you can tell we're both offensive guys because I think we're kind of on the same page. We see timeouts, we can go get some points.
Yeah, it looks like they're playing it a little slow right now, which is something that you and I aren't privy to. But, something that Coach Garlotto is probably going to see if they can get a big play here and then pick up the pace.
2nd and 7 for the Hoyas. Remember, both Buckman out of the lineup due to injury. Hill did not dress for this one. So 2 key senior offensive members not out there. Ellsworth going to take it, and finally Ellsworth gets to the corner. He'll cut it back, still on his feet. Isaac Ellsworth all the way out to the 44-yard line, and maybe now in this field position do they go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you pick up the pace, and those are drive starters. That's what you want to see as a coach. You find 1 or 2 plays that are your drive starters in your 2-minute drill. You get those plays off. If they work, you run the 2-minute drill. If they don't, you take it into halftime. Huge play for the Georgetown offense there. Now you get things rolling. Now you start airing it out a little bit.
You kind of wish Ellsworth would have got out of bounds in that one to save that timeout.
Again, they're going to blow this one dead. I think maybe having issues with the clock possibly.
Please reset the game clock to 25 seconds. Thank you.
So they're going to change the game clock.
25
play
seconds.
clock, excuse me. The official said game clock, instead meant play clock. So, all ready to go. As Barnes, I guess they did rule him out of bounds, so Barnes checks the clock. They'll roll it on the snap. Ellsworth up the middle, hit and brought down after a gain of 4 on the play. And one of the Georgetown offensive linemen down, and that is not a good thing. It's been an issue for them over the last few years, and that's the center, Dom Scarangella. And in an offense like Georgetown's where that center snap is so key, that's something you don't want to see.
Yeah, he popped up pretty quickly. You don't know if it's a knee or a cramp or what have you, but you get a chance right now if you're the coaching staff to really decide what you want to do right here with these next few plays that you have in a quarter.
Yeah, that last play was interesting. I figured that, they got that big running play. They're out to close to the 50-yard line. Now you start taking some shots, maybe get 3 points back up on the board, and then they go for a simple run play, which takes time. It took 10 seconds off the play clock. Mm-hmm. So I think this is a chance for Coach Garlotta, maybe if he was on the fence about running the 2-minute drill, this is a chance to really get the guys together, figure out what they want to do, and now we're going to see what they want to do coming out on this next play.
And they're going to have a 10-second runoff here. So that'll push the clock down to 35 seconds.
And I think that 10-second runoff actually just showed exactly what Coach Scarlatta's plan is, because he could have saved that 10-second runoff with a timeout. They got a bunch of timeouts left. If he wanted to get things moving and use this 2-minute drill to get points, he probably figures he would have saved or used that timeout and saved those 10 seconds there.
Especially when you see guys getting banged up. Now you want to go in to half. You have a lead. You have 17-point lead. Now you want to say, okay, let's just get on a knee or just run this clock out and get into half and come right back out and lick our wounds, so to speak. But you still can't fall asleep if you're Columbia's secondary. You
Absolutely.
know, they're waiting for those safeties to show a little bit of lax, and they're going to take a shot deep down the field.
Yeah, I think you hit the hammer on the nail, though. I mean, they've got a couple of injuries already this half. Probably just want to go into the half healthy.
Vallis gets the handoff. He'll be swarmed under for about a 3-yard loss. So it looks like they moved Matt Huppert over from guard to center. Timeout's going to be called. Columbia now going to try and make the Hoyas do something and maybe punt it away. So they're trying to play into this. So we'll get you the updated line for the Hoyas right now. We can get it for you. It looks like Randy Christian is coming at guard. Huppert slides over from his guard spot to center. And I would assume, guys, at this point, we're really looking, if you're Columbia, you're probably thinking, hey, we get a stop here. They're not going to want to do much. They just lost their starting center. At that point, and try and block the punt.
Well, I mean, it's 3rd down, so do you sit in the house if you're Columbia? Or are you coming with a blitz, or do you sit back and try to force them to utilize that last timeout or force them to finish this half? I like what's going on with Al Bagnola. He's really coaching to the end of the quarter, and that's something that's going to – his team is taking notice of that. I think that's going to be good for them moving forward.
Yeah, I love the timeout personally. I think it's a chance to force Georgetown to snap the football at least one more time. Mistakes can happen. You just had a new center come in. Mistakes can happen there with the center exchange. Something that simple. So I like the timeout. You force another play. Maybe something happens for you. Maybe it doesn't. But you force something. You give it the chance for something to happen.
So 3rd and 8 here. Hoyas have to take it out to the 47-yard line for a first down. Barnes going to look to throw here. It's got some space. Now a flag goes down. Barnes will slide down. Gets his helmet ripped off his head by a defensive lineman, Alex Holm. Referee doesn't do anything, and a hold's called on the play. And Rob Scarlatta is again out on the field. He has not had a good first half when it comes to the referees. He has not been happy.
Now, does that mean that Barnes will have to
come out for one play?
Play. So
number 28
so
offense.
Have another variable coming.
That penalty is declined.
Exactly.
It will bring up 4th down.
So Georgetown going to punt it away with 13 seconds left. They decline the play.
And that was a design run all the way. He tucked it pretty early and was just
he was never throwing the football in this play.
So Columbia took a
Second time out of the half.
Because the Georgetown staff was kind of saying, why aren't you winding the clock? Of course, the referee said, it's because they took a timeout. So a 4th down here. They'll punt this one away. The ball will be snapped from the 47-yard line. 13 seconds left. We'll give it to both of you. We'll start with you, Emory. What are you doing here? You going to rush it? You going to try and set up a return?
I say you go all out and try to rush it. Why not? You got 13 seconds left. No reason why to play safe. You hadn't had success returning the football, so try to get the big play on the opposite end.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think you absolutely go out. You try and rush the punt. God forbid if something happens where you hit the kicker and you get 15-yard penalty. We've already seen that Georgetown's not trying to get points here. And at that point, you'll probably have somewhere close to 5 or 6 seconds left. Really no downside to rushing the punt here and seeing what can happen.
Kevin Doherty's special teams crew will head out there. And I think one of our cameramen got us a really good shot. You could see the coaching staff talking to the punter, Harry McCollum, and I guarantee what they were saying was step and kick it, step and kick it. Just catch it and get the ball away.
Yeah, and they got everybody up at the line right now, so it looks like they're going to be bringing the house.
Wainwright is back deep, but everybody up there is they're looking to go ahead and get this one. Gets it away, just gets it away. This one is going to be into the end zone, but Rob Scarlatta could care less. He was just looking to get that one out of there. He's able to do it. And Columbia, McCollum gets a slap on the head, say, hey, that's a great job, no return, and he got the ball away. That's perfect. Lions will have one play probably from their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, this one looks like you would just go and take the knee and get in, and you did a good job defensively. You forced them to make the play. You forced them to punt the ball. But if you're Columbia's defense, you have to be, okay, we made some mistakes, but we've held our own. If we can stop turning the ball over and put together some good, long, sustained drives, we could have some success as a team.
And I think those last couple of plays really show what kind of coach or what kind of culture that Coach Bagnoli is bringing to this Columbia team. Going all out to the very last play of the half, down 17. Now they're going to take it into the half, only down 17 points, but they gave a little life there at the end.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of life, but right now a lot of life on the Georgetown sidelines as the Hoyas have come out with a 17-point lead here in the end of the first half as we get ready to talk to Coach Rob Scarlotta. Again, a great performance by the Hoyas, some good plays on the defensive end, special teams as well, also offensively as they've been able to do some great things. Down to Anna on the sidelines.
Coach, what I really heard being stressed to your offense over there was the importance of getting that first down to a tempo team like yours. What do you have to do in the second half to make sure that happens?
We went 4 3-and-outs, and we shot ourselves in the foot every first play. And it's so I told the guys over here, it's either trained or untrained. Take a deep breath. We know what we're doing. Once we execute, we went right down the field. So I'm just excited to get back out and get some more series in the second half.
Assess your defense's first half play.
Unbelievable. They keep turning the ball over. We got to turn it into points. And what I love about our defense is that they run to the ball constantly, and that's what showed up big time for us in the shutout in the first half.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach, and thank you, Anna. Georgetown, 30 minutes away from their first 3-0 start in over 15 years. They lead Columbia at the half, 17-0. More after this coming up on the Patriot League Network on Campus Insiders. Welcome back to Georgetown University. The homestanding Hoyas leading 17-0 here at the half over Columbia, and an opportunistic Hoya defense really helping their cause, able to go ahead and make some big things happen. Jeremy Huber, Emory Hunt, and Michael Niebrick back with you. You see there in front of you, this is a group of folks. This is all about the Lou Little Trophy, the presentation of it earlier on today. Of course, the traveling trophy between these two squads. You see it on the right. Gentleman holding it there. A very, very nice trophy. Mike, I believe you caught up with the sculptor of that earlier today, right?
Yeah, I caught up with him and just wanted to get the inspiration behind it. And honestly, he told me he looked at some Marvel heroes and basically sculpted this trophy off of the idea of a superhero watching over you. And that's what Lou Little is to a lot of people, being a superhero guy. And that's what he wanted this trophy to mean. So really cool to talk to him.
Yeah, Lou Little, of course, former coach at both Georgetown and Columbia. Of course, more of his career at Columbia, but really a pillar when it comes to Georgetown and the program here. You see on your screen the years he was at both schools, of course, inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 1960, as again, after his work at Columbia. Coached 3 All-Americans at Georgetown. Also, Hoyas won the first Lou Little game last year, 24-16. Columbia won the previous 2 meetings. So these two teams haven't played all that much, but kind of getting this series going with something to play for. We talked about it earlier on. These trophy games are always so fun. It gives you that little extra burst to play for.
And the fact that they have 10 games coming up between one another is a great thing, because again, college football, you don't get this anywhere else. Playing for trophies, playing on homecoming, playing for different things, it means something to a lot of people. So this is great to see.
And just a fantastic looking rendering of Lou Little there. And of course, some interesting things staying with Lou Little, though. As you see the Ivy League standings, you look right now, the teams are. But back to the Lou Little things, a couple interesting points on that. You talk about Lou Little, the fact that he coached both Sid Luckman, the former Bears quarterback, the Hall of Famer in the pros, also coached the writer Jack Kerouac at Columbia during his time there. And also an interesting sidebar today, Brock Kenyon, the safety for this Columbia Lions team, actually was part of his great uncle Bill Kenyon, played at Georgetown for Lou Little there. So that family has something, the Kenyon family, on both sides of things. Again, Jeremy Huber, Emory Hunt, Michael Niebrick with you high above the booth here, above the field in the booth here at Georgetown University. Hoyas with a great start in this one, guys, 17-0. We'll start with you, Mike. Again, you had Georgetown coming into the game. I think this is what Rob Scarlatta would have loved to see, a performance like this to start things off.
Yeah, start like this is exactly what Coach Scarlatta wanted. They forced turnovers on the defensive side of the ball. They've stayed efficient on the offensive side of the ball. They had a couple of lull drives there towards the, in between the first and second quarter that they really couldn't get anything going, but they found their rhythm in the beginning. They found their rhythm at the end. Definitely the start that Coach Scarlatta wanted for this Georgetown team.
Always talked about fast start. That's exactly what he was looking for. Well, of course, Patriot League play, unlike the Ivies, who really played their first games of the year last week, the Patriot League, they're well into things, and the Hoya is the only team in the PL that doesn't have a loss yet.
And when you look at the Georgetown Hoyas defense, they stack up well against the rest of the field here in the Patriot League. Colgate has a really good defense. Fordham's defense is very good in the back end, and Bucknell's defensive line has 2 outstanding defensive tackles. So you're going to see a lot of defense with this league. You're going to see some offense like Lehigh that can put points up on anybody, as well as Fordham. So it's a good mix of talent and styles which makes fights here in the Patriot League.
And I think you mentioned it right there, the fact that they're the only team 2-0 right now, and I think that's why this game is such a big game. To go 3-0 with this tough Patriot League schedule coming up, going 3-0 right now out of conference would be absolutely huge for this Georgetown team.
Yeah, of course, tough games against Harvard and Princeton coming up. Would love to move it to 3-0, get a lot of momentum going into that tough slate, and then the tough Patriot League play. Well, again, we're at the half here at Georgetown, and Georgetown looking mighty good. They lead Columbia 17-0 here at Cooper Field. We'll have more coming up right after this on the Patriot League Network on Campus Insiders.
So that's player to watch number 1. We need number 3, Blue, with Kelsey for another 20 or so. Ready? Yep. Roll it. Ready, come back out to 2. Mark your heating things done. Our third player to watch for the blue team today, it's number 5, Tyler Gunn. Yeah, big back the action.
Georgetown up 17-0 at the half on Columbia. Another fine performance by Georgetown as they look for a 3-0 start, first since 1999 when they were part of the MAAC. A long time since the Hoyas have started things off 3-0. Of course, one of the things that has really been good for them in defense, offense, we'll talk about that. But now time to take a look at some of our highlights from this first half. There have been a lot of them for Georgetown guys. They start things off. Georgetown early on, they decided to go deep.
You look at it right there, taking that deep shot early in the game on their best corner. Way to send the statement, ended up being 7 points.
Michael Darius making the catch off the throw from Tim Barnes. Then the defense would get into the act.
Yeah, just a great play here, reading the quarterback's eyes, knowing that the quarterback actually had his guy open, took advantage of a bad throw.
Jethro Francois with that play there. Then a good job by the Columbia special teams to pin the Hoyas back deep. Off the nice pick, that's the backup punter or the short punter in Panton, but the Hoyas would come back. They would get it. Wainwright would go and field this one, and a big play by Matt Deal.
Yeah, both special teams have made a lot of plays in this ball game. It's a big reason why we see Georgetown up 17-0 as we see the field goal here.
Yeah, Darmstadter would bang that one through from almost 50 yards. We saw him in the pregame kicking from out there. We thought he might have the leg. He showed that he definitely had it there. Now, Columbia would mount a drive, but again, it would be a big play from David Akiri.
Yeah, just another great job by David Akiri, reading the quarterback's eyes the whole way. That one, he didn't have the guy open. David Akiri just sat back, kind of teased him, made him think he did, got into the end zone.
And then Tim Barnes, the quarterback, showing off his running back and that running back number as he gets in the end zone.
Exactly. You know I'm smiling ear to ear. 35, 6'2", 295, 6'3", 205. A guy from Oradell, New Jersey, coming in big and making a play.
Then Nizelek, the standout kicker for Columbia, would line up a field goal, but he would end up missing the kick. And as Mike, as you said, a little momentum dasher.
Yeah, it was a dagger for that Columbia team, no doubt. They put together a beautiful 7-minute drive. It was one of those drives that we talked about it beforehand, that we wanted to see how they would come out and respond. Coach Bagnoli rallied his troops, but they couldn't get anything out of it.
See the standings or the stats there. Hoya is getting a lot of that off that one big play from Darius, or to Darius from Barnes, but they have run the ball a little bit there. But again, the big stat I thought, Emory, was the turnovers.
Yeah, right there. That's the difference between this being a very close game and it being 17-0. Those 2 turnovers off those passes, and when both teams are not being able to run the football, that's huge.
And also, Michael, time of possession in the Hoyas' favor.
Yeah, time of possession in the Hoyas' favor as well. But like you mentioned, I think the turnovers and the starting field position, I wish we had a stat for that, where each team is starting each drive. I think that those 2 things are the biggest reason that Georgetown's up 17-0 right now, because neither offense has really gotten themselves into any kind of a really good rhythm putting up yards. It really just comes down to who's taking advantage of the mistakes and who's taking advantage of the better field position.
Yeah, and of course some of the individual standouts in this game so far today for the Hoyas. Tim Barnes, again, Mike, another solid start for him off that big play, and efficient when you look at the numbers.
Yeah, and I mentioned in the pregame that I wanted to see Timmy Barnes' completion percentage get up a little bit. 10 for 15 for 106 yards and 1 touchdown. He's staying efficient as a quarterback, not trying to do too much, even when things aren't going well for this Georgetown offense.
And of course, on the defensive side of things, Emory, for the Hoyas, David Akiri, again, he's all over the place along with Jethro Francois and a few other guys like Leo Lockery.
And also, like like Javion Butler, who's made play after play, not only just in the regular defense, but also on the special team. So I just think it's been a total defensive effort from Georgetown at every level.
And, of course, the Hoyas, it's been a fantastic effort for them. 17-0 the score as they lead Columbia here at the half. It's homecoming on the Hilltop, and the Hoyas are very happy right now. The homecoming crowd getting their money's worth as the Hoyas with a 17-point lead at the half. More halftime coming up after this.
Okay, guys, so that's clear to watch number 1. We need number 3, blue. Penalty for another 20 or so. Ready? Roll it. Ready, come back out to 2. Mark your heating thing. Third player to watch for the blue team today, it's number 5, Tyler Bell.
Back here at Georgetown, the Hoyas leading Columbia at the half, 17-0, as they look for their 3-0 start on the season, first in 15 years, as the Hoyas, again, looking for a victory today on the Hilltop. Let's sit it down to Anna, standing by with Coach Al Bagnoli.
Coach, you're up against a tough Georgetown defense. They actually lead the nation in red zone defense. What do you have to do in the second half to generate some offense?
We have to stay on schedule. We're making a lot of mistakes. We're way off schedule. We're in way too many second and third down and longs. We got to win first down. We got to be able to run the football better than what we're doing. I challenged our kids up front. I don't think, the credit to them, I don't think we've played very well, and we're going to have to really step it up if we have any chance to win.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Anna, and thanks, Coach Bagnoli. You see again Michelle Conkley earlier today. We heard from her with Anna. Again, all those medals there from her time down at the Rio Paralympic Games. Of course, A big performance by her. I think, did you get 4 medals on that count, Emory?
That was 4 medals, 2 goals, 1 silver, and a bronze, and just an outstanding display of talent that she displayed down there in Rio.
Yeah, fantastic performance, and again, did a great job there down there representing Georgetown very well. Obviously, fantastic performance by her and a really good performance by the Hoyas so far in today's game. Quick thoughts on the second half. Mike, what do you want to see from the Hoyas coming out of the half?
Well, I want to see them try and establish a little bit more of a rhythm on offense. Like we mentioned during halftime, neither offense has really gotten themselves in any kind of a rhythm, really developed any kind of identity on offense. So I want to see Georgetown come out, try and get back to their identity of running the football and then using the run to set up the pass.
Emory, on your side of things for Columbia, what do they need to do to get back into this?
Well, I think they have to, again, establish the running game. We haven't seen any team run the football with any level of success other than their quarterback, so both running games have to step up and be ready to carry the ball this second half.
Let's see what they can do. Of course, the Hoyas benefiting from those 2 turnovers. There's 2 interceptions, 1 from Francois, 1 from Akiri. Of course, the defense has been doing a great things for this squad. Marist, of course, they really are able to shut them down. We saw some of the big plays by Georgetown. But again, you look at those stats, and anytime you're anything top 10 in the nation, you have to be proud. The rushing defense, 9th in the nation. Scoring defense, 10th in the nation. The Hoyas D, again, really doing a good job, especially with that, Mike, with that red zone defense.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest stats that you want to see as a defensive coach is how well does your defense perform in the red zone, limiting points, or holding the offense to just field goals instead of touchdowns. Those are the things that defensive coordinators love to see. I mean, leading the nation in red zone defense, that is a huge stat for this Georgetown defense and something that they should be very proud of.
And you saw the chances. I don't think technically they were inside the red zone, but Columbia got it down there. The Hoyas able to stiffen up, and some people would go ahead and say, hey, you know, it's one of those things where you're playing some of the Pioneer League teams, but the Hoyas able to get turnovers when they need them. They saw one right there against Marist. You see them here. The first one coming up, big play by Jeffrey Francois.
Yeah, Francois, again, just reading the quarterback's eyes, jumping the route, and then making an excellent catch there, diving to the ground and securing it the whole way through.
Of course, the Hoyas would come up there with Javion Butler knocking one down, so even if not a turnover, a way to go ahead and stop a drive, then at Emory, we see David Akiri getting the act.
And it's all effort, and this is what you want to see defensively, effort and want to, which is why they're stopping the run, and on the back end, which is why you're seeing these guys at the second and third levels make plays on the ball.
So Hoyas with a 17-point lead as we head into the second half. Of course, Colgate had some issues scoring in their first game against St. Francis, continuing today, but they'll start with the ball in the second half, and we'll see if the Hoyas can hold them down, get that first 3-0 start since 1999. Be big for this Hoyas program as they move forward in Patriot League play. Of course, back to kickoff again is the kickoff man for the Hoyas, Ben Pretty. Just 1 touchback on the year. Back deep, Wainwright. And we are underway in the second half. There's a little bit of sun coming out here at Cooper Field. Wainwright looking for a seam. He may have one, trying to get to the outside. Can he get around David Akiri? Akiri, he'll cut it back on him, stays on his feet, and eventually goes out of bounds across the 50-yard line. So the Hoyas get him out, but Emory, Columbia gets that big play they needed.
And that's a big play right there by a freshman, 5'11", 170 pounds, making an impact on special teams. You could tell earlier on in the first half he wanted to make a big play and ended up making a big one here. A negative one in the first half, a positive one to start the second half.
And if you're Coach Bagnoli, you couldn't have asked for a better start to the second half here. And I think that you just saw, again, the culture that he's bringing in. A lot of teams, they would just come out. A lot of Columbia teams in the past would just come out, fold. This is a team now that they got a little bit momentum going. Let's see if they can put some points on the board.
And Anders Hill back out there. They've switched he and Morningweg throughout the first half, looking for Scooter Hollis. Trey Gabriel looking for him. Can't complete it. That swing pass has done some good things, but just can't connect.
And that's a pass that if you're Anders Hill that you got to complete on first down, because now you're 2nd and 10. You're behind the sticks. Those are passes that if you're gonna institute stuff like that into your offense, those are passes that you have to be 100% on.
Hill 2 for 5 with an interception in the first half. 2nd and 10. Schroer takes it up the middle. Got some space off right tackle as he lunges forward for a gain of 5.
Nice positive play right there on the ground, and you saw they were going to run the football by just looking at the offensive linemen. Everyone up front's hands was on the ground, ready to fire off the football, and that's the type of tone you want to set when you're trying to get your ground game going.
Defensive front for the Hoyas of Sawicki, Jefferson, and Kislik. Schroer, he's got the first down across the 35-yard line, banged down by Akiri. Also a Poozy getting on that hit, but a first down for the Columbia Lions, and they keep things moving.
That's 2 plays in a row there for Columbia's offensive line, doing a really nice job of just creating holes for Schroer to go up into, and here's 3 plays in a row now.
And hadn't really seen most of the game Columbia directly attack this Georgetown front with the run, but now they're just running downhill.
And you're right. There's nothing special and fancy about this. This is just lining up, and I'm going to be better than you up front and blowing you off the ball. Right now, Georgetown's defensive line has to wake up. Otherwise, Columbia can continue to move this football down the field.
Fake to Schroer. Hill looking deep. Incomplete as he ended up throwing the out as the lunging attempt there made by Wainwright. And again, kind of interesting. Got things going. They thought they had something there, but the passing seemingly not the forte.
Yeah, I like the route concept. The route was actually open with that corner route. They had a little bit of a switch route going on there with the outside receiver and the slot receiver. So I like the concept, but now it's 3rd and 5. You have to get this 3rd down here.
Schroer again up the middle, and again he'll be close to the sticks, just about a yard short, and you would have to think this will be 4-down territory, and they're going to push the pace.
Now you saw it on the last 3rd down attempt. Them running this type of play just tells you, hey, we're running 4 plays in a row.
Hoyas, do they get lined up in time? Schroer cuts it back. He'll be hit, and I think he's going to push forward and have the first down. It'll be awfully close. Coming up from the secondary to make the hit, I believe, was Lyons. They may bring the chains out on this one. This is a huge measurement here as the corner, Ramon Lyons, only 180, went up against Chris Schroer at 215. Stopped him in his tracks for a second, but Schroer a little extra effort.
A little bit of extra effort from Schroer, but a great job there by Lyons at stopping him at the line of scrimmage, which allowed the rest of his guys on defense to rally around him. Had he not gotten up in there early on and stopped him at the line of scrimmage, even if he didn't make that tackle, he allowed the defense enough time to come out and make a good tackle on him, even though Schroer just got enough for the first down there.
Just got enough right there. You see right here, again, just a simple dive play up the middle of the field. This was a few plays previous, but you see Columbia is coming out trying to set the tone. We're going to try to own the line of scrimmage. We didn't do a good job of that in the first half, and now we're trying to come out in the 3rd quarter and rectify that issue.
So Schroer gets the conversion, just barely, and Columbia keeps the chains moving. It's under 2 minutes in. Reverse, now they're looking to throw the ball. He tucks it under, stays on his feet, and pulled down after a gain of 7 on the play. That was Scooter Hollis, I believe, Mike. He was trying to set up that throwback pass to Hill.
And you can't say enough about what Scooter Hollis just did. He had the reverse play, and a lot of wide receivers, they get the ball, they turn around, and they throw it blindly. That was a senior play right there by Scooter Hollis, looking back, seeing his guy was covered, and just taking off and getting the yards that he could. A great senior play by him.
Got 5. They'll blow this one dead now.
Number 40, offense. 5-yard penalty.
So that's John Hunton, I believe, on the false start. The tight end, the senior out of Fort Smith, Arkansas.
False starts are a killer for any offense. And just as a coach, you look at it and it's like, man, we know the snap count. We just told you the snap count, and you jump offside. You know, it's just frustrating.
So they'll move it back. So 2nd and 9 now as Hill will have 5 wide receivers, 3 to his left, 2 to his right. Hill looking to throw, complete, first down, across the sticks and driven out of bounds is Wainwright.
I really like those little outs that they're doing. We saw a little bit of it in the first half as well, where they were just having the quarterback turn, throw a quick out, get 6 or 7 yards. Georgetown's defense has been running a lot of cover 4 with off coverage to that boundary. I want to see Columbia probably to use a little bit more of that. I mean, it's an easy 6 or 7 yards every time.
Again, you're only down 3 plays, so small bites of the apple will get you where you want to be.
Hill again looking for the fade this time. It'll be incomplete. Nice coverage on the play by Lyons as he was looking for Scooter Hollis in the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, Hollins did a great job right there. I'm sorry, Lions did a great job right there and making the play without even turning around. And normally that will get you flagged in football, but good job playing the receiver, judging when his eyes open up wide to try to catch that ball and knocking the ball away.
Yeah, really nice job there coverage-wise by Lions. You'd like to see Anders Hill give the ball a little bit more air there to give Scooter Hollis a chance, but a great defensive play.
Thrower back. He's going to take the draw here up the middle. Nice play for Columbia, and Schroer is into the end zone. They break the ice. Lions on the board.
Again, the running game will get you right back where you want to be, and they did a great job dominating the line of scrimmage on this drive. I thought Columbia came out this third quarter and did a good job in just owning up front, and it got them in the end zone. That's play number one. Now they need 2 more plays, and they'll be right back in it.
Beautifully designed play here. Faking that rollout, having the running back kind of roll with him, put the brakes on, and then come back. You had all the linebackers flowing. At that point, it was just a matter of, is your offensive line holding their guy, to blocking their guy and giving the running back enough room? Just a beautifully designed play there, and a great opening drive here in the second half for Columbia.
Another whistle blows here. Again, referees talking it over. A lot of conversations between the Zebras today. Both sides kind of pointing their own way. And I think they're going to rule this one on Columbia with another false start.
Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Might be that new rule where you can't move the ball anymore, because they called that pretty quickly. So, again, false start. You know the snap count, and we expect you not to make this mistake.
Warren Milstein now on after Nizelek missed his field goal opportunity earlier in the game. Milstein still in the hold of Panton. Kick is away, and the kick is up and good. So Columbia, Hoyas got off to the fast start in the first half. Columbia off to the fast start now as they find the end zone on the draw to Schroer to draw within 10.
Yeah, Coach Bagnoli rallied the troops at halftime, and you could see on that drive that Columbia's offensive line came out and they said, we're imposing our will on this Georgetown front right now. And they came out and they did it. They ran the football successfully. They got a lot of push up front, and that's something that I think that you're going to see more and more of as we continue throughout the course of this game.
I think we saw Columbia come out offensively like it was coming off of a timeout, and we saw Georgetown come out defensively like they just came out of halftime. So we'll see what Georgetown's offense will do on this upcoming drive. Again, you can't panic if you're Columbia, and you can't make sure you don't try to get down and answer their score quickly if you're Georgetown.
See that interesting graphic on the screen. Of course, the Ivy League doesn't even play postseason anymore, but their only bowl game coming back in 1933, 7-0 win over Stanford. So a matchup of two intellectual institutions back then, and Columbia got the win that day.
I guarantee Columbia's like, hey, we don't need to play Stanford anymore. We proved our point. We won last. No need to bring up old stuff.
So Nizelek on to kick off. Back deep for the Hoyas, Ellsworth and Vallis. As the Lions, just their second kickoff of the game, finally got on the board. This one will go, and again out of bounds. So earlier in the game, Georgetown makes the mistake. This time, the do-everything kicker, Nizelek, his tough day continues as he kicks one out of bounds and gives the Hoyas great field position.
Again, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, because you saw a Georgetown offense that had success before the quarter ended, before the half ended, moving the football down the field. Now you give them, 60 yards to go. That's just a bad thing to happen for you if you're Columbia.
Yeah, and I think this is a big drive here for Georgetown. I think if you're Timmy Barnes, you got to stay out on the field for at least 3 or 4 minutes of game clock. Give that defense a chance to rest and recover and make adjustments. So a big offensive drive here for Georgetown.
Remember, new center is Vallis. Will push forward, ends up maybe with a minimal gain on the play. Dom Scarangella was injured earlier in the game. Looked like something with his leg. What the Hoyas ended up doing, they ended up moving Matt Huppert over. Now it looks like Jared Horn has slid over to the guard spot. He's listed as the backup center. But Huppert is the starter coming out of the second half. 2nd and 9 here for the Hoyas. Barnes checks the sidelines, has a bunch one way. Going to run option here. That's going to be fumbled as he tried to get the pitch off to Vallis, and Vallis just falls on top of it. And the Hoya offense, with a few key guys missing, some early struggles in the second half.
Yeah, you look at that defense by Columbia. They're up on it right now in this third quarter. But again, he had the good idea of pitching the football. Just have to get it out a little bit quicker. But you have to like what you see from Columbia. They didn't hang their heads down 17-0. They came back out, competed well. Now they find themselves with a 3rd and long in this opening quarter of the second half.
3rd and 12 for the Hoyas. Barnes back to throw, steps up, tries to find a man over the middle, and Harrell can't get his hands underneath. And a 3 and out for the Hoyas, so a great start here for Columbia.
Couldn't have asked for a better start if you're Coach Bagnola. I mean, you got a great offensive drive to start the second half. Now you come out and you do a great job on defense at getting minus yards and forcing a 3 and out. I mean, just an absolutely great start for Columbia. And now you want to see, if you're Coach Bagnoli, what can my offense do now? We just put up some success. Can we come back out and continue to run the football successfully?
Wainwright back deep, had the fumble earlier, but just had the big return. McCollum end over and punt, and caught by Blaze Brown. Probably would have got a few more yards roll out of it. Just a little bit of a mental mistake there. And as good as the first half started for the Hoyas, that's how badly it's starting right now for them.
And conversely, on the flip side, if you're Georgetown, you're looking at, hey, we have to shake up and get ready to get back in this ball game mentally, because right now they look like they're sleepwalking.
And I think the sign of a good team is when you face some adversity, how well do you do at sticking your foot in the ground and stopping it? How well is this Georgetown? I mean, we've talked endlessly about how good this Georgetown's defense is. Can they come back now? They got a little adversity. Their offense is struggling. Can they come out and put their foot in the ground right now and force a quick 3 and out?
Mike Taylor, out there now. Hoyas blitzing. Quick screen out in the flat. Good yardage. Knocked out of bounds at the 40 is Scooter Hollis by Jelani Williamson, but another good first down gain for Columbia.
You see a lot more patience now with this Columbia offense. They're not pressing. They're not frenetic. They're just doing what they do well, which is, again, the short, quick passing game.
Up the middle goes the running back right near the sticks. That handoff to Allen Watson, the senior, and he'll be very close.
Yeah, right now Georgetown will need guys like Hunter Kislick and Jefferson to make something happen up front, get off blocks, and stop this at or behind the line of scrimmage.
Call this 3rd and short. Pass out, complete, and just enough for first down yardage goes to Ray Douglas. And again, Columbia moving the chains.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Emory. These are the kind of drives for a good defense that you need your playmakers to step up. Guys like Javion Butler, guys like Hunter Kislick. I mean, we haven't called their names in a little bit here. They need to step up and make a play.
1st and 10. Now Columbia will run the option. Schroer cuts it back when Kislick got out there and ends up with a 2-yard gain instead of a big loss.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of everything so far. We've seen option football. We've seen them go flat out air raid and try to attack vertically down the field. Now we're seeing more of a ball control passing game and downhill running. So Columbia is being able to adjust, is why they're finding themselves having a lot of success in the second half.
Call it 2nd and 8. Hill still in at quarterback. Started the first drive of the second half. Again, the swing pass out in the flat, trying to find some room. Georgetown's defense converges and stops Wainwright after a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, a little too much dancing around if you're Josh Wainwright there, and something that the freshman will learn. He just needs to use his speed, catch the football. If he doesn't see a lot of stuff open, use his speed and just get up the field. Get as many yards as you can instead of trying to dance around there and letting the defense rally to you. Like we see here, there's one guy out there. Use your speed, stick your foot in the ground, and get upfield. And now when he's dancing around, he ends up with 5 or 6 guys around him tackling him. So that's something that the freshman will learn as he gets older.
3rd and 6. Hoyas bring the blitz. Columbia picks it up. Does he get his hands underneath? He does not. That ball out there for Douglas. Tried to get underneath, but a definitive call by the referee said he didn't catch it cleanly, and the Hoyas look like they forced a 3 and out.
Yeah, you saw that ball kind of come out of Anders Hill's hand funky, almost like it slipped a little bit, and that's why it died toward the end of that route. So I guess you can call it a good stop by Georgetown's defense.
Yeah, it was a good stop by them, and I find it very interesting that that Anders Hill is getting the majority of the snaps so far in the second half. I mean, a guy like Skylar Morningweg has a much better arm than Anders Hill, and we've seen a couple times where Anders Hill has taken that extra split second to get the ball off, and it still hasn't gotten there. So we'll see if he continues to play throughout the course of the second half.
High kick. Vallis calling for the fair catch. He'll make it just inside his 10-yard line. That time it was the other punter, Panton, trying to pin them deep. And again, he does a great job of that.
Again, it's a weapon, man. When you're able to dictate where teams start because of your own punting game and kicking game, it says a lot. It just helps your defense how they can get out there, stay aggressive, and be able to get back off the field.
And Mike, you mentioned it. I think it was a great point. Good teams put their foot in the ground and stop a run when it's coming against them, and that's exactly what Georgetown did on the last series.
Yeah, it was a great job by Georgetown at putting their foot in the ground, stopping it. They gave up a couple of plays there, but didn't let them get a drive going, didn't let them get any momentum going, coming out and getting a good stop there. Now we need to see this offense stick their foot in the ground. They haven't really done anything lately. Let's see if they can stick their foot in the ground and get a rhythm going.
Barnes to throw. He's got Williams on the sidelines, but he didn't get his feet in bounds. They say he's out of bounds. Quick little turnaround there, and he must have stepped out as both referees quickly gave the no-catch sign.
Nice concept, though. They took the corner's aggressiveness and played it against him, running a short speed out but trying to dump it right in the bucket right behind him. You got to know where you are on the field if you're a receiver.
And Timmy Barnes has to get that football out just a little bit quicker. He had the corner bite right away. As soon as he sees that, needs to get the football out.
Barnes in the gun. Quick pass. Harrell has to reach high to get it, and he'll be swarmed under by two Columbia defenders. And this Columbia defense has some pretty good numbers on the season, much improved last year from 2014. They're looking very good right now.
Yeah, this is a good defense for Columbia. They've been good for the last year or so, and they played a really good game against St. Francis as well. They only lost 13-9, so they really didn't give up a lot of big plays on defense. So Georgetown needs to make some adjustments here and figure out what they can use to attack this defense.
So 3rd and 10, need to take it out to the 20 for a first. Barnes rolls out, looking for a man, nothing there. He's just going to put this one into the seats. Try to avoid the big negative play, but Hoyas with another 3 and out. Let's send it down to our Anna Tarullo on the sidelines.
Guys, senior tight end Matt Buckman is sitting over on the training table, and he's not looking too happy about it. I saw him hanging his head a little bit, looking dejected. Now, he was on the training table in the first half of the game. I saw him icing his left shoulder. No idea what the injury is. It doesn't look like he'll return, but there's no official word. Guys?
Thanks, Anna. Yeah, Buckman looking like he had a shoulder issue there. Of course, went out pretty early in this game. Hoyas have gone with Schweitzer when they've gone with a tight end. A lot of 5 wide formations instead. McCollum's punt gets it away. It's going to take a Georgetown bounce. Fielded. Wainwright, can he get out? He cannot as he's run back into Deal, who missed the tackle the first time, makes it the second time.
Yeah, Wainwright's a freshman, but he has that playmaker mentality. There's not a punt or a kick that he doesn't like to return. So he's going to try to bring back everyone he gets his hands on, and that could cause him a bit of a problem later on in the season.
He's definitely a playmaker, no doubt. But I think if you're Coach Bagnoli, you're going to pull this kid aside at the end of the game and say, listen, I love your enthusiasm. I love your effort, and I love you wanting to go out there and make a play. But there are times where you have to pull back and just let the play happen and get ready for the next one. You know, we already saw him fumble once. That was easily a play he could have fumbled again. So that's something that Coach Bagnoli will address with him.
Thomas, soft right tackle, hit and brought down after a gain of 2. And again, Anders Hill is in at quarterback. We saw them switch back and forth in the first half. We don't know if Morningweg's dealing with an injury and maybe he has come out or maybe just decided to go with the backup today. But again, Hill looks like he's going to be the guy the rest of the way.
It may be something about playing here at Cooper Field for Georgetown, because the last home game we saw this with Davidson go back and forth with their quarterbacks,
2nd and 8. Hill keeps this time. Kislik hits him. Then he'll be brought down below, coming up from a secondary spot and making a big hit on that play.
Yeah, that's a great point there, Emory. I didn't even think about that. In the Davidson game, we saw the exact same thing. The starter ended up getting benched a couple drives in, and they stuck with the second-string guy. Right now, that's the exact same thing that's happened out here today. Morningweg's on the sideline right now with his helmet in hand, so it doesn't look like there's any kind of an injury. I think that they're just going with Anders Hill. Maybe they think he's got the hot hand, and they're just going to ride with him.
Curie made that last tackle helping Kislick. Kislick coming this time, screen, set up Schroer, and a good job, good pursuit by the Hoyas as Javion Butler gets out there. Also Brennan Sawicki after the pressure from Kislick to force the quick throw.
Yeah, you see sometimes great plays are nullified by greater plays. And you saw a great play call right there by Columbia, the screen in that situation. But good job right there defensively by Javion Butler coming in. And that's a tough play to make for a linebacker / defensive back type guy.
So Hoyas with another good defensive stand. Panton back on to punt. Vallis going to let this one bounce, and it takes a Georgetown roll into the end zone. And the Hoyas will scrimmage from their 20-yard line.
Yeah, Georgetown's got to come out here and figure something out on offense. They've had some chances open that they haven't seen. That last drive, actually, on that third down play, they had the rollout open. They had a guy, Timmy Barnes had a guy rolling with him deep that was wide open, just didn't see him. So they've had some things open that they're just not executing. They got to figure out right now what they can do effectively and then go out and execute.
Yeah, you see them trying to compensate for the absence of Matt Buckman, which looks to be a big part of their offense. So they need these other guys to step up and make plays.
Two backs in the backfield. Barnes trying to set up the screen to Ellsworth. He'll be hit and brought down as, again, this Columbia defense rising to the occasion, making big play after big play here in the second half.
I don't know what went on at halftime, but they have really fired up this Columbia Lions defense from alignment, assignment, execution. They're playing flawless football right now.
Keith Brady diagnosing that one. Right now, folks, the Hoyas offensive line, lots of shakeups due to injury. Nick James, Michael McFarland still on the left side, but now center, it's Matt Huppert. Randy Christian, usually a guard, moves out to tackle right now. Barnes throws this one away, was looking for Jessen as the pressure was coming in on him.
Man, that play, I don't know if that was supposed to be a run play or what, but, a funky exchange right there by the quarterback.
I couldn't tell if it was a run-pass option or not. It could have been just a design play-action pass, but there was definitely something that happened in the backfield with the exchange, with that play action that threw Tim Barnes off and definitely led to the overthrow. But, again, we just see Georgetown offense totally out of sync right now.
Jared Horn, the other change, usually listed as the backup center. He's now in at guard for Georgetown. Barnes looking over the middle. This time Harrell, he gets hit after the ball gets by him. Incomplete. So he takes the pop and can't make the catch. And again, the Hoyas with a 3 and out.
I tell you what, maybe Harrell kind of peeked over to his left and saw that defensive back screaming in. Coaches will always tell you that you're going to get hit anyway, so you might as well catch the ball. And right there, he pulled up a little bit and still got sacrificed by the defender.
Yeah, I think he's got to keep that route a little bit more skinny, not to get over towards the safety a little bit more. But Tim Barnes got to put that on him as well. Mm-hmm. That was a bad throw by Tim Barnes. He's got to stick that on him, let Harrell do his thing. But this offense is not in sync. They got to figure something out here.
McCollum, long punt, but should be returnable here. Dancing around, finding some space, and getting out across the 50-yard line. Almost broke it was Wainwright, so that time the dancing works, gets the Georgetown guys by him, and almost made a big play.
That kid's special. I'll tell you what. He's done some things out here today that the Columbia coaching staff has to be very happy with. I mean, this kid's only a freshman, making moves like this to get himself open, to get those extra yards. Now, he's done some freshman things that you'd like to see him clean up, but plays like this you can't teach. This is God-given talent that he's just using out there on the field, and the Columbia coaching staff has to be really happy to have a guy like this on their team.
And he's showing the will to win. That's something else that coaches love to see.
Wainwright, the freshman out of Austin, Texas. Hill out in the flat, hits Hollis. Close to the sticks, may have the first down.
Yeah, it looks like Columbia has decided, you know what, we don't have to attack deep down the field. We can take these short 5-8 routes and work within our offense and be successful, and they have.
So it will be a first down. Schroer tries to spin loose from Kislick, able to get a yard out of the play as Butler cleans him up.
Yeah, it was a great tackle by Hunter Kislick there. Just coming up, stuffing the play right away and not letting Schroer to do anything after the initial point of contact. And then Javion Butler coming up and helping his buddy out and just cleaning up the play.
Under 3.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Georgetown scored all their points in the first half. Columbia has 7, trying to add to that. All that coming in the second half. Play action, Hill looking deep, nothing there. Now he'll tuck it under and run. He'll get submarined and brought down as Kendall Catching gave the initial pressure. A little bit of extracurriculars behind the play again between Conway and Lockery.
Seems like every time they try to go deep down the field, you see Georgetown is playing off. So right there as a receiver, you want to cut that route off and just turn your numbers back to the quarterback and let him get rid of that football quickly. Their short passing game is working to perfection. There's no need right now to go deep down the field.
3rd and 7 for Hill, the junior out of Boulder, Colorado. Hoya show blitz. Try to beat it. Akiri taps it to himself. He's unable to make the interception, but David Akiri in the right place at the right time.
And that right there is why David Akiri is the captain of this defense, captain of this team. Just a great instinctual play by David Akiri there. He read the play through and through. Right here, just a quick play action. He sees it, stays into coverage, almost comes up with incredible interception. A great individual effort there by the captain of this Georgetown team, David Akiri.
He nearly caught it initially, which would have been a great show of hands by him, but just great awareness by recognizing what the offense is trying to do to him, like you mentioned. Just a great job and a great way to get off the field.
Panton, the short punter, back out there. We'll drop the toe of that one, get that end-over-end kick as they look to down it. And they will again down one inside the 1-yard line. So for the second time today, Columbia is down to punt inside the 1. It didn't really work for them the first time, but the way Georgetown's offense is struggling, I think Al Bagnoli has to be happy to see his guys do that.
But you only have to win 2 out of the 3 aspects of a game to come away victorious. And right now, you have to be honest, Columbia is winning the special teams battle by pinning these guys deep and also getting big-time returns in from their punt returns.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about it at halftime. One of the big stats that I thought was important to this game so far is field position, where that first half, Georgetown had all of the field position, getting the ball inside Columbia's side of the ball, getting the ball off turnovers. This second half, we have seen Georgetown not start outside of their own 20-yard line and have a couple of times that they've started inside their 10. So great job by Columbia here, forcing long fields.
Barnes, quick pass out. Harrell cuts it back inside. Hit and brought down, but a nice gainer there for the Hoyas as they're able to move that and get some away from their goal line.
Yeah, good stick right there by Brock Kenyon, who has had a lot of big pops in this ball game. But that's a good opening play, good positive play, good confidence builder right here if you're Georgetown.
Interesting move now, guys. Bermudez in kind of working as an H-back. So maybe with Buckman out of the game, that's the route they're going. Want to get a little more space and size out there. Vallis tried to cut to the outside, and he gets knocked back for a loss.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it right there, Jeremy, that they're trying to use him as a Matt Buckman replacement. And we just saw on that play that's a play that Matt Buckman pulls around, gets up into the line of scrimmage, and lays a big block and creates some space. Bermudez isn't big enough to do stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see how they use him throughout the course of this game in that Matt Buckman-type role.
Saw those play cards there. See a lot of schools do that. Had a little Scooby-Doo action there. A couple others as well. 3rd and 2, we'll call it. Need to get it to the 11 for a first down. Barnes, quick pass out to Jessen. That is incomplete, and a flag flies in. It'll be a hold. Would assume Columbia will go ahead and decline this one. Referee frantically trying to catch Al Bagnoli's. And he finally says decline it.
Holding, number 65 offense. That penalty is declined. It will be 4th down.
Guys, I don't think I've ever seen a referee go about 10 different times to give the signal to the other team's coach. We see here just the quick pass out to Jessen, unable to hook up.
But you got the referee on the other side standing right next to Coach Bagnoli. It's like, hey, man, tell him what I'm trying to say. Let him know it's holding.
So, again, another 3 and out for the Hoyas. But as Mike pointed out earlier in the game, you get enough to get your punter his normal go-through. But McCollum I'll have to go ahead and try and get a good one off here with the dangerous Wainwright at his own 50. Kicks it away from him. Takes a good bounce. Wainwright takes it at the 45-yard line. Looking for some space. He'll be hit and brought down. Butler and Akiri in on the tackle.
Yeah, Javion Butler came in this time and said, I don't think so. You're staying right here.
Again, you got to like Wainwright's, aggressiveness as far as like attacking the ball. But sometimes you got to, like Mike said, you got to lift the plate on the down. But if you're Columbia, you come back out, and we talked about this before, they don't have, until Georgetown shows that they're going to play up a little bit on the outside in the secondary, I would keep working that short passing game. It has led them down the field multiple times in this second half.
Let's see where Columbia goes. Just under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Georgetown looking for a 3-0 start as they lead 17-7, but Columbia has pretty much controlled this third quarter. Handoff up the middle. Goes Watson as he lunges forward to get a gain of 8 on the play.
And again, guys, just great starting field position for Columbia. Getting the ball at the 50-yard line, one play in, now they're at the 42 of Georgetown. So, plays like these swing plays that Columbia's had all of the momentum. They've had all of the field position. Now they need to put up some points.
Keeper this time for Hill. Gets to the outside. He'll have the first down. Takes a lick on the play by Brown, but Hill again moves the sticks.
Man, if you're Columbia, you don't want this third quarter to end because you've had a lot of success on both sides of the ball and also on special teams.
Clock rolling under 15 seconds. Again, handoff up the middle and a big gainer here, and brought down near the 10-yard line is Allen Watson. As right now the Columbia running game is going full speed ahead.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what I'm seeing right now, guys, is the Georgetown offense has had a bunch of 3-and-outs. This Georgetown defense is tired right now.
They'll get this one off right before the end. Watson hit and brought down by Lockery, and that will take us to the end of the quarter. But Columbia, they're in position to go ahead and make this a one-possession game. They trail Georgetown 17-7. More after this on the Patriot League Network on Campus Insiders. Welcome back to Georgetown. Hoyas with a 17-0 lead as they look to go ahead and defend their goal line. They're down, trying to hold on this 10-point lead. Let's send it down to our Anna Tarullo.
Football has been a part of Georgetown University since the late 1800s, and with over a century of history, tradition isn't something that Coach Scarlatta takes lightly. He told us earlier in the week that he wants his kids to know that they represent more than just 2016, and he really stresses the importance of them understanding not only where the program has been, but where they're taking it in the future. Guys.
Thank you, Anna. To the Hoyas again. They're back out on defense. You see again, there's Jethro Francois, and this has not been a good game for the Hoyas when it comes to injuries. They've had a lot of guys banged up. Matt Buckman banged up out of the game. Some guys, Justin Hill didn't suit up for this one. Hugh Masterson as well, key defensive lineman. Let's see what they can do. They've got a 10-point lead headed into the fourth quarter, but Columbia trying to cut into it. They're at their 10-yard line facing a 2nd and 7. Hill runs it, cuts it back, stays on his feet, in for the score, and one play in, Columbia has cut this down to a one-possession game.
Yeah, I said it right before the quarter ended that I think this Georgetown defense is tired right now, and that's why you're seeing the Columbia offense just come out and impose their will running the football. That's what they did the entire third quarter. They did it this entire drive, and they did it here on this last play. Just using that offensive line to get that extra push that they need. Anders Hill getting in the end zone, using his athleticism. But this offense needs to come out and put some kind of a drive together to give this Georgetown defense some break on the sideline to not only catch their breath, but also make some adjustments.
Milstein on for the extra point. He puts it through. We got a game here on the hilltop. Columbia, 2 straight touchdowns. They now trail by 3. Georgetown up 17-14. And again, the Hoyas trying to rally up a little bit here. But they need something.
Well, they tell you it takes something to happen for some people to learn. But when you look at this situation, maybe this is what it takes for this Georgetown offense to wake up and join the rest of everybody that's here in the second half and get some drives going, some positive plays going, at least cross the 50 to where you can then flip field position.
The crowd trying to get him going. David Keary trying to get him going down on the bench. The junior captain, trying to get his guys fired up and ready. But right now, they need something as their 17-point comfortable lead is gone by the wayside, now just up by 3.
I wouldn't even be surprised if they go with an onside kick here just because,
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
You got the momentum. You're playing well defensively.
Georgetown thinking the same thing you were, Emory, as they all stayed together in that huddle until Columbia broke out of it.
These are definitely the situations that you see stuff like that happen, so it wouldn't surprise me at all.
A lean to kick off. Good kick, and it's going to send Ellsworth back into his own end zone. So if you were hoping for a big special teams play for the Hoyas, it's not coming on that. They'll start at their 25.
I think that was the smart play, too, if you're Coach Bagnoli, because you've won the starting field position battle in that third quarter. There's no point in now coming out, doing an onside kick, possibly not getting it, and giving Georgetown's offense the football at the 50-yard line. Kick it deep, pin them back into the 20-yard line. Now see if your defense can hold and force another good field position for your offense.
Especially when this offense is in a funk right now. You want to force them to get out of that funk, and they haven't shown that so far in the second half.
Bit of a depleted unit for the Hoyas. No Matt Buttman, no Justin Hill. What can Tim Barnes do? He started the 25. Barnes, quick out in the flat, looking for Winston Jackson Jr. Incomplete.
Yeah, and this is Tim Barnes right now. He's got to figure this out on offense. He's made a bunch of bad throws consecutively now for this Hoya offense. He's got guys open out there. Tim Barnes needs to take a deep breath, settle down, realize you're still winning by 3 points. Even how badly you played in the third quarter, you're still up by 3 points. Get something going here if you're Tim Barnes, and just try and get a rhythm going.
2nd and 10. Send a man in motion. That's Harrell. Barnes on the keeper. Pulls it and gets a good 5-yard gain on the play.
That's a heck of a read right there because everyone in white flew to the sideline to try to take care of the receiver going in motion. But good job. This is the positive play you're talking about. It's third medium. Now can you hit your free throws if they're throwing the football in this situation?
So some changes for this Columbia defense. Ran 4 or 5 guys on. So 3rd and 5, need to take it to the 35. Huge play in this contest as Georgetown trying to get something going on the offensive end. Barnes keeps, stays on his feet, then brought down. Looked like he was about to get loose, but pulled down by a defensive lineman. And again, Georgetown going to have to punt it away.
Yeah, Emory and I just actually figured something out watching on the TV, and maybe a contributing factor for why Tim Barnes has struggled. We just noticed his right wrist and his right thumb are taped up pretty heavily. I didn't see anything happen. I never noticed anything happen. I didn't even notice when that splint got on his hand, but that's definitely a contributing factor for a quarterback being inaccurate. So we'll see if he can figure something out here to kind of overcome that.
McCollum, low kick. It's going to check up, and this time we'll go ahead and see the punt returner let that one go by as Wainwright finally today kind of lets that one go. Gets a bit of a Georgetown roll, but Columbia with the ball right back as they'll look to tie this game or take the lead.
And that's what you kind of wanted if you're Georgetown. Obviously, you wanted points or a longer drive, but at least you flipped the field position, and now your defense can be a little bit more active and probably apply more pressure on this offense coming out.
Let's send it down to our Anna Tarula. Down to our. We'll go ahead and keep it right here. We'll get to Anna in just 1 second. Of course, talking about this matchup, guys, with Georgetown, what do they got to do right now? I mean, obviously a 3-and-out would be big, but they got to figure out a way to get off. They've been on the field the whole fourth quarter.
Well, they got to figure out a way to get off the field quickly because this defense is still tired. They just got absolutely no time to rest, and they've been on the field the entire second half. Got to get a quick 3-and-out here.
They'll go ahead, quick jet sweep, and another big play going down as Blaze Brown able to go ahead and make the hit, but he took a big shot, but was able to get the wide receiver Wainwright on the ground.
Yeah, Wainwright is only 170, and you saw him right there just impactfully laid down the defender. But you see right here, Tim Barnes getting his hand checked out, and he's cutting it off. He probably says, I can't throw, I can't do anything with it, or they're readjusting it.
Keep by Hill, and he'll get close to first down yardage. It looked like it was going to be a big play for the defensive lineman Brian Jefferson as he hit the running back, but instead Hill kept it and gets yardage.
Yeah, and the coaches on the Columbia sideline right now, they know that they have this Georgetown defense on the ropes. They're just going to continue to run the football and pound the football against this tired front seven.
Hill's got to keep now as that one got messed up, and he'll be hit in the backfield. Javion Butler again coming up to make a play as they'll lose about a half yard.
Yeah, you don't want to take those unnecessary shots if you're Hill. Because, again, here's the thing. Give the ball to the running back. Let him get his juices going. You can keep that football on third down when people are not expecting you to take off and run. But you see right there, they would just miss a line right off the bat. That was kind of due from the beginning.
Took a shot from his teammate Watson. So 2nd and 10. Schroer, he'll be hit and stopped. And that time Jefferson rising to the occasion. He was getting blocked, ends up getting a free hand. He and a few others bring him down.
Yeah, and that was a big play there by Jefferson, just sticking his guy at the line of scrimmage and not getting forced back, not giving any ground. Schroer actually came up and ended up hitting the guy that was blocking him, and then he just sticks his hand out and makes the tackle. So great job there by Jefferson and not giving ground against that offensive line.
5 wide receivers set. Hill all by himself in the backfield. Need to get it out to the 43-yard line of Georgetown for a first down. Hoy is showing blitz. They'll only rush 3. Hill over the middle. That'll be incomplete as he was looking in between 2 wide receivers. Couldn't find either one. Wainwright was out there. Also out there was Briscoe, but couldn't connect. And the Hoyas get the 3-and-out they needed.
That was a huge stop by Georgetown. First because they did a great job in applying pressure. They stopped the run a little bit on this drive, and now they get the ball back, which they should get good field position for their offense.
Folks, I'll correct myself. In my long years of football, I know 5 plays doesn't make it 3-and-out, but more importantly, it was a stop.
It was a quick stop. That's what counts.
4th and 8. This will be punted away. Panton into the game. Vallis going to try and make the catch, and he will, running out of bounds down around the 5-yard line. They'll mark it at the 7, so the Hoyas get the stop they need, and now with Barnes taking that wrap off his hand, let's see what the Hoyas can do.
Yeah, and again, another drive for Georgetown starting inside the 10-yard line. I want to say this is at least the 3rd drive that this has happened here in the second half. This is all Columbia, and this is the special teams battle that we were talking about earlier in the game. Winning that special teams battle. Georgetown won it in the first half. Columbia's winning it here in the second half and forcing long drives for a Georgetown offense that hasn't found anything so far.
So Barnes back out there. Vallis next to him. Barnes, quick pass in the flat. Harrell, minimal gain on the play.
I like how they did that because they retaped his hand, and so they wanted to see how well he can throw the football. They're going to get the cue from him is, okay, did that work? Was that fine? Came out through a quick strike, a lot of velocity on it, so it looks like he's going to be able to throw the football now with the readjusted tape.
Bermudez back into the game. He'll come in as a wing. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. That's McLaughlin. Vallis to the outside, trying to get there. He'll cut it back. Hand close to the face mask. No flag comes down, though. Let's send it down to our Anna Tarullo with this update.
Outstanding display of leadership by junior safety David Akiri. Every time the defense comes off the field, he's in his guys' ears being vocal, telling them this is the time that counts to get out there, to be a dog. It's nice to see a little display of leadership from the junior guys.
Thanks, Anna. 3rd and a long 2 here. Hoyas, big play for them. Barnes will roll. Harrell out in the flat, hit, tries to lunge forward. He'll be stopped, and the Columbia defense again comes up big.
Huge stop there by Columbia, and I like what they're trying to do this drive on offense, getting those quick passes, getting the ball out of Tim Barnes' hands and letting their playmakers do their thing. But there are also times where these receivers need to know where they are on the field. Harrell's got to know in that situation that he needs to be a couple of yards more up the field to where as soon as he catches the football, he can basically go out of bounds and have the first down here. He gets too far back towards the line of scrimmage, catches the football, and then by the time he gets hit, he's still a couple of yards away from that first down. So his wide receivers got to help him out a little bit on those quick plays.
McCollum could use a good punt here. It'll be high. Puns him back deep, but Wainwright's going to have a chance to return it. He's at the 50-yard line, cuts it back. Again, some of the good moves there will be hit and brought down across the 40-yard line. So, again, special teams coming into play, and Wainwright gets a good return there and sets up Columbia in great position.
Yeah, Josh Wainwright will give the Ivy League problems for the rest of the season. He has made himself a name today, boy. I tell you, when you look at this guy catching the ball on a run, making one miss and didn't having the wherewithal to make that second guy miss right there, bang, set him up. And that's a good defender, Javion Butler, and getting extra yards. Now you have Columbia's offense starting from the 40 yards going in. Great field position for an offense that has had a lot of success.
Yeah, if I'm Wainwright today, I'm going to enjoy the rest of the game catching the punts, because I would be shocked if for the rest of the year, teams watching this film, if the rest of the year teams are punting to him. I mean, he's just done such a great job at making little moves to just get a few extra yards here and there, and he's been a spark.
Schroer up the middle, pushes forward, and again, that Columbia offensive line getting that extra movement as Schroer ends up with a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, this is where you need your defense to rally up, make a stop, and force a turnover to help out your offense. Right now, they're struggling mightily to get off blocks, to stop the run, and which is why they find themselves on the field a lot in the second half.
2nd and 6. He'll run the option this time, pitch it out, ball's on the ground. And Schroer, a good job to get on that one before Lions could scoop and score. But the bigger issue, it's a 5-yard loss.
We've seen both teams try that little option pitch, and both of them have fumbled the ball doing it. It's a very difficult pitch to make, and if you aren't used to running it over and over again, when you have somebody barreling down on you as a quarterback, it takes a lot of focus to get that ball put in the perfect spot. If you're not a team that does that very often, I would honestly lean away from ever doing it, because it's just such a hard play and everything needs to be in sync.
3rd and 12, 3rd and 11. Need to get it down to the 29-yard line for a first down. Hoyas coming on the blitz. It's a run, and it doesn't matter as Akiri and Kiselak are right there to stone him at the line of scrimmage.
That's what you need right there. Your big players, big-time playmakers on defense to step up and make plays in crucial moments. And that was a huge stop right there. 3rd down was a big play. 2nd down was a big play. 3rd down was an even bigger play. And now you're probably going to see this ball go in the end zone, and now your offense is going to get great field position.
Yeah, we were talking about the defense needing guys to come out and make a play. They're big-time guys. Right there, you just see it. You got Akiri, you got Kiselak, you got Javion Butler. You also had Yankovic in there. All 4 of their big-time guys coming in, making a stop on 3rd down.
That's
Big play for that defense.
Panton, he'll punt it away. This one's going to be really short. And Vallis will field it on the 11-yard line. So again, the Hoyas defense, Luke Thompson's crew rising to the occasion when needed. Now you got to wonder, if you're the Hoyas, you can get something out of Michael Newberger's crew. You might be able to end this game if you do, with just 7:18 left.
And I want to make a reference to the program, but I know I have to, excuse my man Mike here, who hadn't seen the movie. But this is the time where you put the women and children to bed and go looking for dinner. So if you're the offense of Georgetown, you really have to come out and get back to basics.
No first downs in the second half for the Hoyas, so really Columbia has taken it to this team.
No
on the
first
defensive
downs.
ends. But a few first downs here could go a long way for the Hoyas. Let's see what they can do. Barnes over the middle. Harrell makes the catch. Right near the sticks, maybe just short.
I think Mike pointed it out earlier in the third quarter that you have the lead. So the pressure's still on Columbia. Your job out right now as offense is to go out there and just make plays. And that was a great play on first down. The first time we've seen in a while them work the middle of the field.
So first down, like clockwork, we put the graphic up. It goes Georgetown's way. 1st and 10. Vallis seen most of the time at running back today. 2 receivers each way. Barnes running the clock down. He'll look to throw again. This time he's going to try and go deep and incomplete. Little back shoulder there, looking for Brandon Williams.
Yeah, and that was the same play we actually saw in the third quarter. They had a little out-go concept where the corner's put on an island. He's got to decide, is he going to jump the out? Is he going to fade back with the fade? And Barnes he's a little bit late making that decision. He's had the guy on the deep route, on that sideline route on both occasions, just hasn't done a good enough job at getting the ball out quickly and getting it to him.
So we'll call it 2nd and 10 here. Again, Hoyas going without the tight end most of the game after the injury to Matt Buckman. Jessen pops up in the air, almost picked off. Jessen doesn't get a lot of playing time. That one almost disastrous as Cameron Roan tried to get his hands underneath of it. Couldn't do it.
That's a second drop by Jessen. And again, if you want to see your playing time increase, you have to make those catches. That was an easy gimme play and a great call because he had room to make something happen after the catch.
Now 3rd and 10 for the Hoyas. They've got to get it out across the 31-yard line for a first down. Williams isolated all by himself. Down at the bottom of your screen. Barnes trying for a big play here to keep the drive moving. He'll run it. Can he get to the outside? He cannot, and he'll come up about 3 yards short of the sticks, and the Hoyas will have to punt it away again.
Yeah, another 3 and out for this offense, and just they haven't gotten anything going this entire second half. Yes, they're still leading, but they're putting their defense in a really, really tough position here at trying to defend the short field, coming out onto the field after multiple 3 and outs in a row. I mean, they're really putting their defense in a tough spot. Can their defense come up now and rally with 6 minutes to go here in this game?
And you saw how important that second down drop was because that would have been a first down had he caught the football and made it 3rd and medium. That was a great play call they made, but just a couple of yards short.
McCollum to kick it away to Wainwright. Another low kick. He'll take a bounce check up, and he'll take a Columbia roll back towards the 40-yard line. I think a few Georgetown guys trying to push Columbia players into that ball. Doesn't work.
Trying anything.
Right.
Right now, guys, Columbia, as we've talked about, they kind of had all that momentum going. The Hoyas defense eventually caught their breath, and they've kind of slowed the momentum, at least on the offensive side of Columbia.
Yeah, they caught their breath there in between that 3rd and 4th quarter there. That little intermission that they've had, that's the longest they've honestly had to sit on the sideline, and that might have given them a chance to catch their breath a little bit. They gave up the touchdown right after that, but they've done a nice job here after that at settling down and not really allowing anything deep down the field.
Again, Hill stays in at quarterback, looking to throw over the middle, finds his man, and close to the sticks is Wainwright.
That was a great play call because they cleared out everything underneath and ran that shallow cross, and you get it to your best playmaker right now in this ball game, which is Wainwright on a slow crosser, and he's going to make something happen, got the first down.
Clock winds again. 1st and 10. Hill with Schroer in the backfield. Fake the handoff. Hill looking deep. He's going to load one up. Going to be incomplete as he was looking for his wide receiver Hollis, who had a step on Jelani Williamson but couldn't make the hookup.
Yeah, he had Scooter Hollis deep, but if you're a quarterback there, you had the entire middle of the field wide open to throw the football. That's one of those throws there that you know you got the guy open. Throw it further to the left. Let him bend his route and run to the football. It's extremely hard for a wide receiver to bend backwards to adjust to a football. So that's one of those throws that Hill's going to want back.
2nd and 10. This time Schroer will take the run, and he'll be hit and spun down. Yankovic in there, along with a few others, to make that stop. Novacki in there as well, and make it a 3rd and long.
They've had a couple of good looks in that in this game defensively, offensively. If you're Columbia facing the cover 4, that was another example right there where he just couldn't connect. 2 interceptions, and then that big play incompletion right there.
Looks like that's the youngster Marquise Paris getting a lot of playing time, with Hugh Masterson being out of the lineup. And again, it's one of those things, the Hoya is just taking body blow after body blow today when it comes to injuries.
Yeah, and I think if you're Coach Scarlata right now, the thing you got to hate the most about getting hit so hard with the injury bug throughout this game is they just had their bye week last week.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you don't have that bye week coming up that you're going, all right, let's just get to the bye week and then we can heal. You had that bye week last week. You come out, and now you're taking, like you said, all these body blows. You're losing guys left and right. That's got to be the hardest part right now for Coach Scarlata, and figuring out, all right, we have a game next week now. We got to figure out who's coming in and who's the next man up.
And, of course, as luck would have it, against probably the best team in the Ivy League, Harvard, on a short week with travel. So big for the Hoyas to come out victorious in this one, especially after having the 17-point lead. 4:40 to go, 3rd and 11. Let's see what Columbia decides to do. Hoya's going to rush 3. Hill, nothing there. He's going to spin out. He's got some room to run. He'll tuck it under, be hit and brought down short of the sticks. He's about 4 yards short. So now decision time for Al Bagnoli on the sidelines.
Yeah, Hill taking a lot of hard shots, man. And again, with us not knowing what's going on with Morningweg, if you're Hill, you got to understand, hey, I can't be out of this game for my team. That was a good job coverage-wise by Georgetown. Hill saw no one open, scrambled, made it 4th and manageable, and they're going for it.
And this is a huge play right now. If you don't get this, you give Georgetown good field position. If you do get it, now you're rolling.
Hoyas again showing blitz. They'll come looking for the inside option. Schroer hit, lunges forward. I don't think he has it.
That looks like he's going to be about a yard short.
He gave that one last lunge as he was going backwards, got him close, but I believe if that spot is correct, he's going to be about 6 inches short.
Yeah, this place is going to erupt. That looked from the naked eye about a good yard short. And you see right here, and he nearly got it. That was great defense right there on the outside, and good job right there initially by Georgetown making a stick at the 39. Falling forward, yeah, that's about a good yard short right there.
I like the play call, though. That was a really nice play call there by Columbia. All Schroer had to do was when he caught that football, he needed to take more of an outside route. He tried to turn back up into the teeth of the defense, and that's where he got hit at the line of scrimmage.
Huge pursuit on that play by Hunter Kislick to get down the line. They'll stretch the chains out, and he's going to be short. Georgetown with a stop on 4th down to halt Columbia's momentum and get the ball back with a chance to run this thing out.
A key term there, run, and that's the one thing you want to see Georgetown do when they get the ball back is how well can this offensive line respond and win those battles up front, because quite honestly, that defensive front 4 of Columbia has owned Georgetown's offensive line in the second half.
And if you're Tim Barnes right now, you're the leader that this team needs. You need to come out here and get these guys rallied up and say, listen, we haven't played a very good football game. We all know that. We need to now go out there and run one perfect 4-minute drill, end this game, and get to the next game, get in the film room, figure out what we did wrong.
Looks like they have announced maybe a jersey change. They're number 99 and number 1. But right now, the Hoyas will give it to Vallis, and he'll push forward for 4 yards.
And that's the play you want to see. Now you see Columbia is using their timeout right now.
Now Alex Vallis is banged up, grabbed his knee immediately down on the ground. So at this point, it's kind of becoming the Hoyas trying to massage their way through this game as guys are falling left and right.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying before we got to the ref there is They need to come out and do a perfect 4-minute drive here and just end the game. Get out with a win. It wasn't a pretty win, but these are the kind of wins that you just got to survive and advance.
You see the upcoming schedule for Columbia. They'll start Ivy League play next week against Princeton. Of course, the Tigers will come to visit the Hoyas after that. Then back out of conference with Wagner, then Penn, Dartmouth, and then Yale. Of course, Columbia beating Yale last year.
That Princeton game is going to be interesting because Princeton is probably the only team in the country that plays 2 quarterbacks at the same time on the field at the same time.
Georgetown with a toughie against Harvard next week on a Friday night. Then Princeton, then they're into Patriot League play. Lehigh, Fordham, and Lafayette.
Lehigh is going to be a fun game.
Yeah, and as we take a look at that schedule there, that's why this game is so important. You go 3-0 now. You got 2 really tough games coming up against Harvard and Princeton, but then you got a Lehigh game that you could very easily end up seeing yourselves at 4-2.
Darius gets a reverse into the short side. Good job to cut it up as he was running out of room. Gets some positive yardage out of that. Interesting call.
I thought he got down in bounds. And okay, so then I called timeout.
So Al Bagnoli taking his timeouts early. Not kind of waiting to see if his guys stop. So trying to save as much time for his offense as possible. And right now, staring at a 3rd and 4. We'll take a quick break and see what happens after that right after this here on the Patriot League Network. Welcome back to Georgetown. Hoyas trying to hold on to a late 3-point lead as they face a 3rd and 4. Bunch formation to the left. Christian Bermudez in as the running back next to Tim Barnes. Barnes going to keep it himself. Bounces the outside, breaks a tackle. Tim Barnes, there's a flag down in the backfield, though. I think it's going to be a hold. Barnes with a big first down, but all for naught.
You got to hate that. You saw it coming a mile away. The ref waited for it, and lo and behold, the offensive line made that hold. But you got to credit Barnes for showing the strength to break that tackle to make that play. But again, now it's an even bigger 3rd down if you're Georgetown.
Yeah, that was 65. Michael McFarland there, just holding Christian Conway, their captain and their linebacker. It's one of those tough plays there as a lineman where Tim Barnes bounces it outside and you don't think he's going outside. You think he's going inside. So when Conway starts to break free to pursue, that's where you see those holds happen. So a tough break there for Georgetown.
Let's see where the Hoyas go here. 3rd and very long, 3rd and 14. Barnes going to keep it. Try to get as much yardage as he can. He'll be hit and brought down well short of the sticks. And now Columbia going to have to take another timeout. That'll be their final timeout. Al Bagnoli's not happy. I don't know if he thought the clock was going to be stopped off of that penalty. But the Hoyas will have to punt it away with just under 3 minutes to go.
And right here is why that 4th down stop was so important for Georgetown, because now they're going to punt the ball away and they're going to make Columbia drive the ball 80-plus yards here unless Wainwright can come out with a really nice return. They're going to make Columbia drive the good portion of the field here, whereas had they punted it on 4th down, they probably would have pinned them deep, and now you're getting the football back a little bit closer towards Georgetown's end zone.
Yeah, and of course, the Hoyas right now going to be on their defense to make a big stop in this contest. Jeremy Huber, Emory Hunt, Michael Niebrick with you. And again, guys, we saw it a little bit last year, the game you and I called, Emory, against Fordham last year, where late in the game, a big special teams play hurt the Hoyas. I let Fordham get the winning touchdown. I think right now that's going to be big for them is, one, get the punt off and let's cover the thing.
It's all about how you finish, man. And when you look at this defensive line, they've had some success in the latter part of this 4th quarter. Can they step up again and now get the pressure on a passing game?
And on the flip side there, Mike, you got Anders Hill in there, maybe not the best thrower. Does that help the defense for Georgetown a bit?
I think it does help the defense for Georgetown. He's obviously shown that he can throw the ball a little bit, but he hasn't shown the ball that he can really throw the ball down the field with good accuracy. So it definitely helps with Georgetown. They can be a little bit more aggressive on defense, and we're going to see what they got coming up here. Basically, you got to make sure that Wainwright doesn't make a special play on you guys here.
That's the biggest X factor right now.
McCollum, a little bit of pressure though. Low punt again as Wainwright makes the grab. Ball's loose on the ground and the Hoyas should have it. Again, Wainwright giveth, Wainwright taketh away, and that time the Hoyas take it on the fumble, and they've got the ball in prime position. That one recovered on the play by the defensive lineman on the play, and the Hoyas will go ahead and take over in Columbia territory.
And here's the thing, you just saw both sides of college football, the emotion of the victory and the emotion of the guy that just lost the game, essentially almost lost the game, but Wainwright has made play after play after play for this Lion offense and Lion special teams, only to come up to make the biggest play of the game, a fumble, and now Georgetown will be the direct beneficiary of it.
Yeah, that's a tough one for Coach Bagnoli to kind of swallow, especially if you're Wainwright. You know, he's done so many things well, but that was actually Javion Butler that came in and made the tackle, took the strip out. That's a play that if you're a freshman in Wainwright, you're going to learn to hold on to that ball a little bit tighter, running through those guys as you're breaking through. But definitely a tough one to swallow if you're Wainwright. I mean, he's done so well throughout the course of the game. He's had a couple of mistakes here, and that last one might have cost him the game.
I mean, you saw Javion Butler make that play like you mentioned, and then we saw on the last key, 4th down, Butler doing a great job. Butler, Kislick and company, Lockery, all those guys converging to stop the run. So that was huge right there for Georgetown. There are key players, like you mentioned before, making these key plays in big-time parts.
So again, the Hoyas back with the ball after the big special teams play. Vallis back in the game. He'll be hit and swarmed under as Columbia selling out on the run, and they'll move him back for a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, Columbia out of timeouts here, so they have the opportunity to get the football back if they can just cause a 3-and-out. But they're going to get it now with very limited time and not an offense that has shown the explosive ability to score quickly with limited time that they're going to have on the clock if they get the football back.
And when you look back at some of those plays early on in the game, the 2 interceptions going deep down the field, the missed opportunity here where they went deep down the field, and those will come back to bite you in the end.
So 2nd and 11 here as we'll dip under 2 minutes by the time Barnes has this one snapped. Runs it down to 2. Barnes will keep, and then he'll get down on the ground as Conway came up and made the tackle, and another loss for the Hoyas, but precious time running off the clock.
Now here's the thing. Do you take the punt or do you kick a field goal? And you see right here, this is the punt where Wainwright fumbled the football, makes a great initial move, switches hands properly, and then just fumbles the football.
Yeah,
so
he's just a little bit loose after the exchange with that ball in his left hand.
So do you kick it or do you punt it?
I think you punt it away. I think too many bad things can happen in a kick, especially from this distance. Let's just say even if they get 10 yards here, calls 4th down, that's a long field goal attempt. He's going to have to kick it low. Too many bad things can happen with a long field goal.
Vallis will take it. He's hit, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, just short of it. So that will roll through the clock, and Hoyas are still well away from the sticks. So it looks like right now, with the play clock starting up, it's going to be about 19 seconds, 20 seconds by the time either they take a timeout or punt this one away. I think they'll go ahead, either take it or they'll just take the penalty.
And you have the other members of the Georgetown coaching staff, the fans right here, telling coach to take the penalty and eat up some more clock. But, it's been a good game. And if you're Columbia, you still like the fact that we have a chance when we get this ball back, albeit a slight one. We have a chance.
So they will go ahead, take the penalty
Delay game.
on the delay of game
Offense.
and move it
5-yard
back.
penalty.
At this
4th
point,
down.
we've seen Columbia really haven't rushed the punts too much. So the last few times we have seen them get a little bit of pressure on the personal protectors. Obviously, that's going to be the play here, right?
I think you're going to see him rush it here. I think we mentioned that the Columbia offense doesn't have a lot of explosiveness to it. They're going to get the ball. Let's just say they played safe and took the kick. they'd get the ball with maybe 10 seconds left. I mean, now you're talking a Hail Mary situation. I think your best chance at causing anything to happen right now is rushing this football as hard as you can.
10 up on the line. Wainwright is the only one off of it. It looks like he's coming too. Snap, McCollum gets it away. A little pooch kick just to get it over their heads, and it's going to check up, and Lyons jumps on the ball. It's still not dead because he pushed it forward. Coach Scarlatta screaming from the sidelines, get away, and they finally blow the play dead with 5 seconds, and just a teachable moment, we will say, because Rob Scarlatta is going to do a lot of teaching right there. Perfect kick by McCollum as that was going to check. There was nobody there, and he was going to be able to go ahead and run clock there.
Yeah, and that's the teachable moment right there. Now, it ended up working out for them because he didn't catch the football and down the football, so it ended up working out exactly how they wanted it to, but that's one of those things where you don't even go down and cover the football. There's no need for you to cover the football. You just let the football hit, let the refs down it, and you stay away from it. So a teachable moment there. Coach Scarlatta fired up, losing his headset, and I think there's a lot of teachable moments on this tape here for Coach Scarlatta. One of those wins that you just want to get out, take the W, and teach off the tape.
Exactly. This is why coaches break things. You know,
you can't blame them.
You can't blame them.
So the Hoyas will take their timeout here, kind of like the timeout in basketball where you go ahead and take it after they set up what play they're going to come out, and Luke Thompson bring his entire defense over. Folks, we did get confirmation, and it looks like we've got an extra confirmation here, that number 91 who recovered that fumble was Phil Novak. He had his jersey torn, so that's why he had to switch jerseys. We see him out there now as a pass rusher, so obviously he's the guy. You're going to have him out there trying to rush that quarterback.
Yeah, in this last play, you just don't want a penalty. If you're the defense, you're bringing your guys over, you're thinking just no penalties, no extra plays that can happen. And we've already seen it once this college football season. Some crazy stuff happen at the end of a game where, you know, a penalty happens, you get an extra play, and you end up losing the football game. So if you're Georgetown right now, you play back. Whoever has the football, make sure you have the tackle, and make sure that if they do start lateraling the football, you all kind of stay in your lanes, almost as like a punt coverage or a kick coverage. You stay in your lanes on defense so you don't have somebody wide open by himself.
That's a good point, stay in your lanes in this situation. That's where a lot of big plays happen.
Yeah.
Guys get all over the field and can't cover.
Got a lot of speed out there for Georgetown. Call it their NASCAR package. A lot of guys. They'll throw this one out. Wainwright laterals it. They'll throw it back to Hill, the quarterback. He's going to try and throw it back now across the field to Schroer. Schroer's got some space. He'll push it forward. That goes out of bounds, and the Hoyas are 3-0 as they beat Columbia 17-14. The Hoya defense holds on late in the game and gets the victory.
Yeah, you got to credit Georgetown's defense for answering the call in that fourth quarter because they got beat up pretty badly in that third quarter. Their offense really didn't come out in the second half, but their defense was able to answer the call and win the game.
Yeah, most definitely, Emory. And, of course, the last time they started 3-0, 1992, their last year in the MAAC. Go 9-2 on the season, but last 3-0 start in that year. So if you're Rob Scarlatta, you got to be happy. And Mike, as you said it, in a game where you saw a lot of Hoyas go down, important to come out of a game like that with a win.
Yeah, it is. It's very important, and games like this are going to happen throughout the course of the season to good teams. You're going to have games where you don't play well in any facet of the game, but the important thing is you came out and you found a way to win.
They did that very well to move to 3-0. Georgetown beats Columbia 17-14. More coming up on the Patriot League Network on Campus Insiders. Come back. Welcome back into the Hilltop, Georgetown University, as the Hoyas, a victorious squad, singing the alma mater to the band with the cheerleaders. Big win for them today, guys, and they've got to be happy. We talked about all the different things kind of on the line for the Hoyas today. A lot to be happy about.
Hey, you come out, win homecoming, you win the Lou Little Trophy. You're having a great time where you had to fight through some adversity, and this was a well-earned win for Georgetown.
Yeah, and I think that, we kind of talked about it before the break there, that, fighting that bug, that injury bug that hit them, it's very important to come out and get wins like this to where you faced all that adversity, you didn't play well, but you still get that victory, and especially on homecoming with the Lou Little Trophy on the line. Definitely a big win for Georgetown, something that Coach Scarlotta and the rest of his coaching staff, they're going to use this tape to solely learn on it.
Let's go ahead and send it down to the sidelines. Anna Trullo with Coach Rob Scarlotta.
All right, congrats on the win, Coach. You're off to a 3-0 start. The Lou Little Trophy's back in D.C. How are you feeling right now?
Relieved. That was a great second half by Columbia. We really stalled offensively. We had a couple injuries, no excuses, but I thought the kids fought hard. Our defense has been there all year, and as hard as it was for Timmy Barnes to play with his thumb at the end of the game, he managed the thing to the end and got it down in 14 seconds. So a lot of good things come out of it. When you can get a win, there's a lot of things we can correct, getting ready for a pretty quick turnaround going up to Harvard on Friday.
Definitely. You had a bit of trouble with third down conversions today. How do you attack that in practice next week?
It's all basics. Third down's only tough if you're not very good on first and second. So we weren't great in first and second down, and we need to find a way to run the football, and that's going to solve a lot of our problems moving forward.
Great, Coach. Thanks. Congrats on the win.
Thank you, Anna, and thank you very much, Coach. The Hoyas with a victorious game today. Here's how it happened. Early on, the Hoyas going deep, Emory to Darius.
And that's the best way to ring up that cash register early. Go deep downfield against their best guys, show you that we're here to play some football, and he definitely paid off with the touchdown.
Then you would see coming back Mike, as it would be Jethro Francois with a big play.
Defense stepping up there. Jethro Francois just reading the quarterback's eyes, making a great catch.
And, of course, the Hoyas moving through in Columbia. This would be a theme as they would down a punt inside. The one did it twice.
And that special teams nearly helped them win this game and also helped Georgetown win the game, but their special teams was huge in this contest.
Speaking of twice, we saw this once from Wainwright. A fumble put the Hoyas in good spot.
Yeah, it was something that Wainwright just couldn't. He did a couple of times, 2 fumbles, and just couldn't hold on to the football there at the end.
The big field goal from Darmstadt really ends up being the difference in the game. Columbia would come back, but again, Emory, it'd be another pick by the Hoyas and David Akiri.
Again, alignment, assignment, and execution, and he showed good film study right there, reading the eyes of the QB coming back and making an interception.
Then Tim Barnes showing off some wheels like you used to have, Mike.
Yeah, like I used to have, absolutely. not so much anymore, but Tim Barnes just using his athleticism to get into the end zone, lowering his shoulder there, and getting 7 for his squad.
This would also be a big play here as Neislick, the kicker for Columbia, would miss the field goal. He'd be replaced by the backup throughout the rest of the game. So again, the Hoyas, a tough way to stop the second half there for Columbia, as they're able to go ahead and not get things going at any points on the board. But Columbia would come back. We talk about Wainwright giveth, Wainwright taketh away. He gave it right there.
Definitely on the opening kickoff coming out of halftime. Great return, set the Columbia Lions up perfectly, and they went down the field and marched in for the touchdown.
Then Schroer on that nice play there.
Yeah, great play design. Faked the rollout, had Schroer kind of roll with him, and then he put his foot in the ground, stopped it, and took it the other way. So great play design there for Columbia.
We see Columbia start moving the ball down the field on some of these plays, and again, we would see the punting game for Columbia as they would pin the Hoyas deep for the second time inside the 1.
Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work right there, guys. Batting it back in play and down it at the 1.
And you started to see Columbia get things going. That was Watson right there, getting them in position, and then Hill would take it in.
Yeah, and this was the point in the second half there where you could tell that the Columbia coaches sensed that Georgetown's defense was tired. They imposed their will on the offensive line, just running the football very effectively.
Pitch ahead, but again, the Hoyas with a big play on 4th down.
And that's when they answered the call and got the stop on 4th down. We saw them later on in the game make another big play. But this is the point where the defense finally woke up and made a big play in the second half.
It pulled the chains tight, and it would not be a first down. So the Hoyas then became into try and run clock mode, get things going. Go ahead, the fans very fired up after that play, getting the big stop. Hoyas would punt this one away, and again it became a punting battle where McCollum started standing up, but then another fumble by Wainwright.
Yeah, and we talked about at the beginning of the game that special teams was going to be the key to the game, and it turned out being the key to this game. Whether it be a field position battle or Wainwright turning the football over a couple of times, special teams were key for both teams today.
And then a try for the Stanford band play. Hoyas defensed that one well. Luke Thompson took his time out, talked to his guys, and able to get a stop there and get the Lou Little Trophy. Second straight year the Hoyas get the win over Columbia. And again, catches your eye, Emory, on those stats today?
Well, you look at the fact that the rushing yards, Columbia had a big day running the football. Both backs did well, but at the end of the day, those four turnovers were the big reason why they lost.
And, of course, that kind of, we talked about time of possession was in Georgetown's favor, Michael, to start. But then, of course, you see Columbia. That's probably why the Hoyas were worn out, needed all those turnovers to stay in and win the game.
Yeah, and if you look at those stats right there and you take away the turnovers, you would have thought Columbia would have won the football game. But 4 turnovers was just too much for them to overcome. They played well, and there's no moral victories in football, but definitely something to build on for the Columbia Lions.
And build on things for the Georgetown Hoyas as well, as they're 3-0 after the win today against Columbia. Thanks to my partners Emory and Michael. Also thanks to Anna Tarullo. I'm Jeremy Huber. Again, your final from the Hilltop. Georgetown 3-0 on the year as they beat Columbia 17-14. Good afternoon, everybody.